Miss Shadwell! Miss Shadwell? Miss Shadwell? Sierra Oscar from 134.
The mother hasn't heard from the daughter for a few weeks. No replies to letters, phone calls, etc. She called the local station for help. They got in touch this morning.
Where from?
Newcastle, sir.
Well, tell DCI Reed then. I'll make my way over.
Right, sir.
Oh, John, who was it found the body?
Cool. Bit ripe, innit? Never mind, old son. Nice big fry up when you get back to the nick.
Tone? You okay?
It's always me. Why me? What have I done?
Look, Monroe's on his way. You can't let him see you like this.
Why not?
Don't be daft. Come on, pull yourself together. You'll be all right.
Can't go back in there. I'm going home.
Phil! What are you doing?
I'm going back to the section house.
You can't. Don't be ridiculous. You found the body. You can't...
I know I found the body!
Spoken to the neighbours yet?
No, sir.
Right. Knock on a few doors then, see what you can find out. Anybody that knew her, what sort of girl she was, last time they saw her.
All right, sir. Excuse me.
Where's the body?
This way.
How long since she's been with us?
No, no, sir. Earliest postmark on this little lot 17 days ago.
Right. Data's sounding out the neighbours. Give her a hand.
Sir.
Up here?
Yeah.
You haven't... Young?
Sir?
I'm not talking to you out there. I don't play silly beggars, lad. It's only a body. You've seen one before. It's not going to bite you. More like upwards of 21 days.
Sir?
From the state of her.
Yeah, well, Barton Street have done her a couple of times for soliciting on the 14th of March and the 6th of April. We had her in D&D twice in July. Barton Street have got her down as Maria Shadwell and Martine Shadwell. We got her down as Marilyn Shadwell.
Well, it's Mary, according to her mother.
Well, she should know, I suppose. Last time Barton Street pulled her, she admitted to being a registered drug addict. She's on the free needle scheme at St Hugh's. No class brass, this one, Jim.
Can you bag up a sample of the residue on this sheet?
Yeah, okay, in a minute. Hey-ho. A great tin of condoms.
Tools of the trade.
Trade of the tools.
OK, can you concentrate on the head? I'm going to turn her when you're finished.
No obvious signs of violence. Mind you, she's pretty far gone. Be grateful for small mercies. At least the central heating wasn't on.
I thought I noticed some wounds on the left side.
So it's in the skin.
Yes.
Usual decomposition.
You all right, Phil? Sorry. It's you who found her, wasn't it?
Constable Young?
Sir.
Surgeon wants a hand.
What a stink. Morning, sir.
Come through.
Nasty.
Can somebody help me move the bed across? Constable?
Now, look, hang on. We know we're dealing with the body of a known drug user and a prostitute, so watch yourself for needles, yeah?
More than her fair share of pricks, then.
Thank you, Miss Clayton. We can well do without those sort of remarks.
Possible OD?
No kit.
Well, what about the rest of the house, sir? Anyone taking a proper look?
Not yet.
Right.
John, what do you reckon of this, in the corner?
Looks like capsule casing. Half a capsule. Yeah, there's a whole one here too. Topped herself.
Might be dealing with a suicide, Inspector.
Oh, what am I looking at?
In the corner there. Small, sort of transparent amber half capsule.
Right.
I think it unlikely asphyxiation was cause of death. No more after the PM, of course.
Right.
Carver's found something, sir. Says, can you come down?
What is it?
Dunno.
Excuse me. Well?
Listen to this.
Mum. Mum. I can't write. I love you. Mama, I'm not well, Mum. Forgive me. Or try not to hate us. I couldn't. I don't know how to. Please pray for me. I love you. It's for the best. Pray for me. Me and the baby. I love you, Mum. I love you. Please pray. I'm sorry. I miss you. I love you too, Dad.
That's it.
Yes.
She kept herself much to herself, according to the neighbours. One or two had snushed she was on the game.
Right. Did you go in?
Briefly.
Were you all right about it?
Yeah. Sorry, Jim. Excuse me a minute. Phil? Phil?
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you feeling?
Me? I'm fine, yeah, good.
Phil?
I'm fine, fine.
What are you laughing at?
Laughing?
You laughed.
No. Narika! I can't hack it. I've tried, but I'm sick of it.
Look, you've got to talk to someone.
Clear?
Yeah, all right.
What's that all about? What's it to do with you?
134 Young.
Skip.
And Mrs. Chadwell, she's coming down from Newcastle tomorrow. Give her a ring and try and find out who Mary's dentist was.
Sorry, Sarge.
Or dental records. If she doesn't know, you'll have to take her for a formal ID. All right, that's it. Off you go.
Cheers, Sarge.
Right.
Red drink.
Bit of a stinker, that, wasn't it, Phil, eh? It's your problem, just winding him on.
Well, don't.
What are you doing here? I don't want you in my room, Phil.
But...
Look, can you go, please?
You said we could talk.
Not here, not now.
I won't... Look, leave the door open. I'm not going to do anything. It's just that I've got to talk to you. Please. The girl this morning. Sorry, but it's on my mind. The girl this morning. Mary. Do you think she felt
What?
anything?
Anything?
Did she feel anything?
I don't know.
But what do you think?
What?
Did it hurt?
I can't...
I don't think it did. It's not meant to, is it? Pills and booze. Like going to sleep.
I really don't know.
But I mean, at the point when she died, at that moment, do you think she knew?
Maybe she knew.
Because it's a sin, isn't it? To us it is, anyway. I'm not being funny or anything, but you know, in Western religions, it's a sin. It's against God. You didn't hear the tape, did you?
No.
No. She asked her mum to pray for her. So she must have believed in God. She must have thought
Thought what?
of her soul.
Her soul.
Yeah. She was pregnant.
How do you know?
It was on the tape. Pray for me and the baby. How could she do it, Rika?
I don't know.
Maybe there was no other way out for her.
There's always another way.
She must have been desperate.
Yes, she must have been.
How would you do it?
What?
Kill yourself?
It's never crossed my mind.
But if you were going to?
Honestly, I've never thought about...
Come on.
I don't know. Pills, I suppose. Look, this is a bit morbid.
Morbid? It's a fact of life. Right next to us, every day. You know that's the second...
The second suicide you found in 4 months. Yes, I know.
Neither of them have been old, either. It's not as if they were sick. I don't know. The first wasn't even our age. Still at school. They must have just said, that's it. You know. No more. I'm gone.
You can't let them drag you down with them. They're dead. You're not.
Aren't I? Will you go to bed with me?
What?
You don't have to do anything.
No!
Please?
Look, I think you better go.
You really hate me, don't you?
Just because I won't have sex with you doesn't mean I hate you.
I love you, you know.
You don't know me.
Doesn't stop me loving you.
I don't love you.
You could, if you wanted to.
It doesn't work like that.
I'm not a virgin.
Oh, Phil.
If that's what you think, if that's what's bothering you. I know the lads say that I am, but I'm not.
Look.
I went out with a girl at Hendon.
It's nothing to do with me.
It's important. Because I'm not like the others. Steve and Dave and that, jump in anything that moves. That's not me.
I know.
With the right person, it's got to be the right person. With you, it would be all right.
I'm not the right person.
You are. Don't... You are, all right? You are. We get on, I can talk to you. Got to take her mother tomorrow.
What?
Mary's mum. Mrs. Shadwell. For formal identification. I spoke to her on the phone. She didn't know Mary's dentist. No records. What am I going to say tomorrow? How do you prepare somebody for that horror? It's her daughter. What do I say? How could she possibly recognise her? She hardly looks human, let alone... Is this your daughter, Mrs. Shadwell? Is this your daughter? Her child? Nobody should have to do that.
Well, somebody's got to. Look, if you really can't handle it, talk to the skipper.
Maitland?
No, Cryer, in confidence. See if someone else can't do it. He'll understand.
No.
Well, you can't say until you've asked him.
You think I'm soft?
He won't. He knows how upset you were last time.
It'll go down on my assessment.
Nobody's going to hold it against you.
But they'll know, though. They'll say I'm not up to the job.
It's screwing you up, Phil.
I don't know how else... It's like it's my fault.
What?
I don't know.
What's your fault? What? I don't understand.
They're dead.
I know.
But dead?
Yes. Yes.
Maybe there was... I should have done something different. Something.
You're not responsible. You can't blame yourself. It's crazy.
Something went wrong. If I could have saved them.
How? How could you? How could you have saved them? You didn't know them. It was their choice. Nobody made them. You couldn't...
I could, but I didn't.
You can't think like this. Don't you see the damage it's doing?
I've got to work it out.
Well, then take some leave.
I've had it all.
Go sick then.
I'm not ill.
Well, you'll make yourself ill.
What would you know? You don't know. Giving me advice. I don't need it, all right? You really
I'm not giving you advice.
Just don't, all right? Your bloody opinions to yourself. You think you're smart? You think you know what's going on, huh? You think I don't know? I know, I'm not stupid.
I didn't say you were stupid.
I don't have to say anything. I can see, I can hear you. You think I'm stupid?
I don't...
Don't lie to me, please!
Get off me, Phil. You're hurting me. Get off me! I want you to go now.
No, I bought you something.
I don't care.
But I bought it.
I don't care what you bought.
Though.
Look, I'm not interested.
I bought it for you.
Phil!
Look, just look at it.
What is it?
Look.
But what is it? It's a ring.
Yeah.
A ring?
It's yours.
Why are you buying me a ring, Phil?
I want you to have it. It's an engagement ring. What? Is it the stones? If you don't like diamonds, we can change it anything you
Look,
want.
stop it,
I
Phil.
want to marry you.
What?
Narika, will you marry me? I love you more than anything. We could be so happy.
You need some help.
I need you.
No.
I've got nobody else.
Your mum and dad.
That's not what I mean. I'm so alone, Narika. I'm scared.
You're scaring me.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
Phil. Phil, look, don't get angry, all right?
I'm not angry.
All right. 'Cause I'm talking to you as a friend, yeah? And when I say this, I'm saying it 'cause I'm worried. I'm not getting at you, so don't get annoyed.
No.
You've got to get... Listen. Listen to me. You've got to get help. Proper help.
You said you'd help me.
I said we'd talk. You've got to get counselling.
I don't need to talk to strangers. Someone that doesn't know me. You say you're my friend.
I am.
Well, isn't that what friends are for? To talk to? Bet you talk to Peter.
He's my boyfriend.
He doesn't respect you. If he did, he'd treat you better.
There's nothing wrong with the way he treats me.
You row all the time. I've seen you.
You saw us once.
Well, then.
Everybody argues, Phil.
We don't.
Look, Phil, I'm sorry, but I've got to get changed to go out. Do you mind? Maybe we could talk about this another time.
You haven't got to go anywhere.
No, I have.
You said we should go to the Arms. You can't be going out if we were going to the pub.
No, No.
You said...
I'm meeting Peter.
He's still at work.
I'm meeting him at work.
Where?
In town.
He doesn't work in town.
He's doing a day's relief teaching.
So where are you going?
Holborn.
No, once you've met him.
Pictures, Leicester Square.
What are you going to see?
I don't know.
I don't believe you.
It's true.
You just want to get rid of me.
No,
What have I told you about lying?
I'm not lying.
What have I told you?
No,
Have you
I'm
listened
not.
to me? I'm not
Honestly,
worth listening to.
I'm
Well, don't lie then.
I'm not.
What? What's the matter?
Marika, it's Jim. I just popped by to make sure you were right after this morning. Marika? Look, I don't know what you're doing in there, but I'll come back later, all right?
Ooh, you've hurt your mouth. You want some salt water or something? You know, take the sting out.
I haven't got any. There might be some in the first aid box.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there is.
You couldn't get me some, could you?
Yeah. Yeah, all right.
Oh, do you want... What are you doing?
Go away, Phil.
Marika, what's the matter?
Go away, Phil.
All right. So, yeah. See you tomorrow then.
You bastard! The bloke your own size too big for you!
Open the door! I know you're in you gutless tosser. I want to word with you. Open this door, I'll kick it down! You touch her again, I'll break your neck. You get away from her, Phil. I mean it.
You're dead, you hear me? You're dead!
Pick it up.
363 from Sierra.
Do me a favour. Pick it up now and put it in the bin, all right? 363 receiving, Sergeant. You want to
Looks
get
like we've
booked?
got a couple of missing kids, Steve. Callers are Mrs. Fielder, 44 Bridge Walk. 2 9-year-olds called Jason and Mark. Can you deal?
Right, Sarge.
They've only been gone an hour, but she's a bit jumpy. Probably a hold hand job.
On my way. In the bin. I'm not telling you again. Sierra, Oscar from 363. We got an RTA. Are you all right?
I didn't stand a chance. She came straight at me.
I was stopping to let him cross.
No way, no way.
All right,
My
mate.
trucker would have stopped.
I'll be in the office for another couple of hours. Chief Super's left me a load of paperwork.
Been dropped in it, son?
Yeah, it's for a meeting at area tomorrow. I tell you, I wouldn't mind if he hadn't kept dropping hints on why he couldn't do it himself.
What are you going to tell me or let me start the rumour?
He's meeting some top brass from a county force. Gave me a phone number, nice little restaurant by the river. Not exactly social, Derek, more business.
Well, when you're mixing it with a hoi polloi, I don't suppose there's much difference.
I wouldn't know, mate. The nearest I get to glamour is quiz night at the Queen's Head.
You're looking good, Charles. Is that worry or exercise?
Both, John, both. I haven't been here before.
Didn't think you would have. That's why I suggested it.
You put your hand up, you walk out into the road. Didn't they teach you anything at Hendon?
They haven't got boots big enough to put you on the beat, have they? Well, anyway, it's all under control. You got superficial injuries to the bloke. It's more shock than anything. The woman will admit to driving too fast. Step-toe behind's got an invalid disc and is dangerous loads now an unmarked hazard to traffic. All right? I just got a call to another job, mate.
I'm a good police officer, Charles. You don't become one without making a few enemies along the way. But you're a friend. I wasn't expecting you to stick the knife in. I'm being accused of all sorts of things. Corruption, fit-ups, unprofessional conduct. Works.
Look, I had a call from DCC Fuller. The officer investigating Peter Mowbray.
Oh, I know who he is. Not that I've ever met him, you understand. I mean, the man may have decided he wants to cut me off at the knees, but so far he hasn't deigned to introduce himself.
Well, he's just doing his job. You know how these things are. He didn't want the job any more than the rest of us. I mean, who would want a job like that?
It's inept. We serve under British law, yet we can be found guilty before the trial.
Look, John, the last thing I want is for this to come between us. Fuller rang me up out of the blue and arranged an appointment. I was totally unprepared. All I had was some vague memories of a murder investigation that got put to bed 17 years ago.
And some private suspicions about me.
That's not true, and you know it.
Must have been some reason why you never answered any of my calls.
No, not at all. You weren't the subject of Fuller's investigation.
But now I am.
Excuse me, Mr. Fielder.
No, mate, I'm his business partner.
We've had a phone call about a couple of missing children.
Yeah, his boy and mine. I've just been out now taking a look.
No, look then.
Well, does it look like it? No, I don't know the area that well. We haven't been here long.
And your name is?
Payne. Derek Payne.
You took your time. What do you lot get paid for?
Got here as quick as I could, madam. Let's go inside, shall we? Been having a party?
Hardly.
Well, with a bit of work thrown in. We're setting up in business, you see, Simon and me. Thought we'd make it social. Get the wife and Jason over.
Go on, Sharon. Go and find Ethan. Simon!
I'll go and find himself.
So, your boy's gone missing.
Yeah, Hannes.
What's your child's name, Mrs. Fielder?
Mark. Yeah. He had his black and yellow football scarf on, grey trousers, as school trousers, a blue anorak and black trainer shoes. What you been doing?
Just been seeing to Julia. That's Derek's wife. She's not taking this too well.
You're Mr. Fielder, I take it.
Yeah, that's right. Just the one of you, is it?
We'll have the entire Met out looking for him if necessary. I expect they'll turn up, though. They usually do. Your friend's child, what's his name again?
Jason.
And do you remember what he had on?
Oh, nothing special. Jeans and a jean shirt. Oh, and a green jacket. You'd need a second mortgage to buy it, though.
I'll leave also.
Yeah, well, she made that pretty obvious, the boss's wife.
Yes, well, I'll talk to Mr. Payne about a description of Jason. What time did they go out, sir?
They were sent out to get some stuff about just down the corner shop.
And when was that exactly?
About
2:30.
I was told they'd only been gone an hour.
Yeah, but it might have been closer to an hour if you'd have been here on time, mightn't it?
We'll have the set menu for 2. You can trust me that far, Charles.
I wouldn't be here, John, if I didn't want to sort things out.
Go on.
Well, you know the facts. You and Peter Mowbray put 2 brothers down for life. But the statements signed by one of the brothers have been altered to make their guilt crystal clear. Now, Fuller's got the date of that alteration down to one day in May 1974. He assumes it was Mowbray. He came to me for proof.
So what's the problem? If he wants the late Mowbray, why can't he take him? Why does he want my head on the block?
Because I know that on May the 11th, 1974, Peter Mowbray was with me. And you were alone in the office.
And that's what you call a vague memory.
I remember because it was the night of a party. It was my engagement party in Suffolk. You couldn't make it.
You've told all this to Fuller?
I didn't have much choice.
Names Jason Payne and Mark Fielder.
Sent out to the corner shop a few hundred yards away and didn't come back.
What time did they report it?
Cathy Marshall logged the call at 6:30. I'm on my way there now.
Hold on.
It took the parents 4 hours to report them missing.
Yeah, and us up to 40 minutes to respond. It's 9-year-old kids here, Andrew.
The officer called to the scene was delayed by an RTA. If we're misinformed of the situation in the first place, we can't be blamed for not giving it priority.
Who's the officer?
Loxton, sir.
CID been informed?
Yes, sir, and we've got a description of the boys.
But that's it. Come on, Andrew. We hear about a possible child abduction at 6:30, and I don't hear about it till 8:20.
There is no evidence to suggest an abduction, sir.
Well, I hope you're right, Andrew.
Thank you.
Thanks. I know that Fuller doesn't want this thing to go public yet.
What are you suggesting?
Look, John, I'm trying to help you find a way out of this.
So he sent you to bargain with me, did he? Do a deal?
No. No, Fuller doesn't know anything about this meeting.
Well, what did you have in mind? I retire from the force on health grounds? Spend more time with my family?
Something like that, yes.
I don't believe I'm hearing this.
Look, I saw that statement. It put 2 innocent men away for life. They're still in prison, John.
You really think that was me?
Or can you prove to me that it wasn't? Or more important, can you prove it to a disciplinary hearing or even a court?
Why the hell should I have to prove it to you? I thought we trusted each other.
Yes, so did I.
Well, I didn't do it, Charles. And on the night you refer to, I wasn't alone in the office. I was with Peter's wife.
Amanda?
Yes. You see, my memory is every bit as good as yours. Better, maybe. I was seeing her, Charles. Or seeing to her, if you want it in the vernacular.
You were having an affair with Peter Mowbray's wife?
So now you see why, for personal reasons, I might not want to go public.
I've tried at the other shop near a bridge walk. Well, he hasn't seen him today.
Yes, he would say that.
Why?
Everybody knows what these boys are sent out to do. We try to tell them, but...
What exactly was he asking for, sir?
Look, I don't want to get into trouble. I don't want it to seem like I'm telling tales.
That's all right, sir. Don't worry.
A bottle of whiskey, 1 of gin, about 40 cigarettes.
Cash? Thank you, sir.
I don't want to make a statement, all right? Please, I don't want to make a statement.
I'll bear that in mind, sir. Sierra Oscar from 363 receiving.
Receiving, Steve.
We've had a sighting, Sarge. Water Lane.
Right.
Yeah, and according to the shopkeeper here...
There must have been upwards of 20 quid between them.
Thanks, Steve.
Great.
Sir, it's not likely to be an abduction, is it? I mean, there were 2 of them.
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
Well, perhaps not, but the probability is that...
Look, I'm aware of what it could be. It could be that tomorrow morning we end up discovering a couple of corpses.
Yes, sir.
And it was you who sent Jason and Mark to the shops, was it, sir?
Yeah, all right, it was me. Look, I'm sorry about the booze, OK? Won't happen again.
Well, we won't worry about that for the moment.
Why don't you just pull your finger out and find our kids?
Sierra Oscar 1 from Sierra Oscar receiving.
Go ahead, Cathy.
Sir, I've got Chief Inspector...
We're doing everything we can, sir. If you can try and think of somewhere they might have gone. Friends, relatives.
If I could, do you think I'll be sitting here?
Yes, sir. Sergeant Maitland's at the common now with a dozen uniform. I'll be across myself in 5 minutes.
Look, you got their photographs. You know what they look like.
What time did you start drinking this afternoon, sir?
Look, I've had a few drinks. There's no law against it, is there?
Si, come on.
You stay out of it, right? You stay right out of it.
We don't want any trouble, do we? No upsets.
Is that why you said nothing about where the kids had been sent?
Now, look.
Or why you left it 4 hours before ringing us because you didn't want any trouble? What about your kids?
June.
You must be feeling a bit sick, eh, Steve? What for? Well, a kid goes missing, you jump, don't you?
I got involved in an RTA, right? And I was on my way there.
Yeah, I heard she was a bit tasty. Get her phone number.
Look, just leave it out, Dave, will you?
All right, Steve, all right. I'll wind up, yeah?
Yeah, you two. Just get on with it.
Here! Over here!
Good, okay, thanks.
Have they found something?
I'll just come inside.
You moved here when, Mr. Payne?
What's that got to do with it?
Look, it's just for our records. Well, what was your address in Colchester?
316 Sudbury Road, EX26. We moved here, what, 6 months ago?
Yeah.
Do you want his old phone number as well?
Mr. Fielder, it would help us if you'd cooperate.
Oh, I'm doing that, believe me.
Now, your son's scarf has been found.
Oh
It's nothing to be agitated about. It's more than likely it was just dropped.
What you gonna do about it? Nothing. Say nothing, do nothing, as usual. Look, it's his fault. You know that. We all know that.
Mrs. Fielder.
Look, Mark would never do anything like this. Never. Till Derek and Lady Muck showed up.
You're getting out of order, Sally.
I know about you and Jason. I know all about it. You think she hasn't told me? I never said anything. Call my kids what you like, but we never had the social workers round. Mark's never been on no register.
Shut it! Sierra Oscar from 643. Urgent assistance required. Repeat, urgent assistance required.
Now! All of you! I think we'd better sort this out at the station. Better if we wait there.
Why did you think it was me, Charles?
There didn't seem any other explanation. Everything seemed to fit. Your attitude to Mowbray, for instance.
What attitude?
Emulating him.
That's your prejudice.
Is it?
You were never cut out for CRD.
Well, I've never denied that.
You never adapted.
Or maybe I was too honest. Tell me, why did you row with Mowbray when he came back from Suffolk? I mean, what was it about? If you were so good at stringing him along, why did you have a fight?
He found my watch on his bedside table. You want me to prove it? Check it out with Amanda. Go on, ask me where the birthmarks are. I'll give them to you chapter and verse.
Okay.
You wanted the details, not me. Look, I hated Mowbray, maybe even more than you did. I knew what his wife had to put up with.
Never mind anybody else's.
Leave my marriage off the agenda, Charles. I am innocent of any charge of corruption.
Nothing more? Not that I could see, Sarge. Conditions out here aren't exactly ideal, though, are they? Yeah, we'll be able to get a closer look tomorrow. I was hoping we wouldn't have to.
Hollis, Quinnin, the old hospital. I know we've checked it a couple of times already, but check it once again just in case, all right?
Come on, Steve. Probably just got bored and gone down the flicks.
Yeah. The High Street. Check the fast food restaurants again. All right?
Sierra Oscar from 6-3 receiving.
Sierra Oscar receiving, Sarge.
Yeah, George, I'm wrapping up the search of the recreation ground. No more sign of the boys.
Thanks, Sarge.
We could use a few more troops out here, if you could tell the Chief Inspector. This one looks like it's going to run and run.
Message received, Sarge. Okay, sir.
Got it. Get Chief Superintendent Brownlow on the phone, will he? He's on that number.
Sir.
So, who did it? I still need to know.
Fuller was right first time. Mowbray.
You sure?
Sure as I can be. He was coming unstuck, losing his grip. Things were falling apart in his marriage. He wasn't going anywhere inside the job, or so he thought.
Until he sent the Wilson brothers down.
Or like that as a headline grabber. Does a man's career power good.
Fuller thought it was overconfidence.
No, not then. I stood up to him in that row we had, faced him out. So did Amanda. Suppose he had to take it out on somebody. So he fitted up the Wilson brothers.
You make it sound like a fit of pique.
Yeah. Not very fair, but then that was his style, wasn't it?
As bad as that.
Worse. You didn't know Pete like I did. You were right to get back into uniform. They really were the bad old days of CID.
Well, you did all right.
I was never one of them.
Just a survivor.
It's a question of keeping your head down. You know that.
Telephone call, sir.
Oh, thank you. Excuse me.
I taught him his Green Cross code. Not to talk to strangers. Well, he's even got his cycling proficiency test.
He was sent out for alcohol and tobacco.
Yeah, well, I don't even smoke.
Oh, I wondered when he was going to start that one up again.
Who exactly sent the boys to the shops, Mr. Fielder?
I said I'd go. Well, Del said let them because we had business to sort out. Well, he is my boss and I am out of work. I got chucked from Carter's 2 years ago. I lost my licence. Well, Del offered me this chance and I didn't think it'd matter just this once.
He could be dead.
And where were you? You was out of it. You and Julia. You couldn't even walk across the room, let alone across the street.
All right. Don't start again.
I just want my boy back.
It's a pity this job at the camera batteries included, Dave. I think I'm fading. I should be so lucky. Eh?
How long was Jason on the at-risk register, Mr. Payne?
He wasn't at risk.
How long was he on the register?
He fell down the stairs when he was 2. He broke his arm, right? There should have been a gate at the top, but there wasn't.
So, he was on the register from 1984?
They was accidents. They can happen to anyone. He doesn't watch what he's doing. He walks into things, burns himself.
A child isn't considered at risk for nothing, Mrs. Payne. Oh, we can check all this for ourselves.
I'm not saying he's not difficult. He's naughty.
And you punish him, do you?
Are you telling me I can't?
Hey, Reg, look, there's nothing round here. Let's give it a rest, eh?
Dave, in here. Jason, Mark.
How'd you fancy only riding the police car, huh?
Do us a favour. Mark. It's the filth.
Whether we got to you late or not is beside the point.
Oh, yeah, well, it suits you to say that, doesn't it?
You do realise that you and your husband could be charged with wilful neglect of your child?
Oh, come off it.
If the court decides you're not fit enough to bring up Jason decently, it could make out a care order. Now, you understand what that means, don't you? It means that Jason could be put into a home.
You should listen to yourself. You really should.
It's the law, Mr. Payne.
They went for a walk. What, have you got any kids?
Do you want to drag this through the courts?
No. You're blaming us because our boy decides to steal my money.
You should look after your child.
Oh, you smug self-righteous...
Right, get to it! Right. Hold him! And lock him up.
Right, Sergeant.
Best place for him, don't you think?
John, how did you come to be so well prepared for this meeting?
Well, you know how the old grapevine works. You get the rumours a couple of months in advance. You start retracing the steps.
So you just pieced it all together?
I had little choice. I don't remember the birthmarks that well. Stretched my powers of recall somewhat.
But if you always thought that Mowbray was banked, when did you work it out?
How do you mean?
Well, you remember the woman. You remember the reasons for the row, down to the last details of where you left your watch. You even know why he fitted those men up.
I used my powers of deduction. There's a strong suspicion, nothing more.
I mean, if it's obvious to you now, it must have been obvious to you then.
Come on.
You knew, didn't you? You knew at the time and you never said a word.
Well, Charles.
Didn't you?
Look, I was a DC. We both were. Who was going to listen to me with someone like Peter Mowbray on my back? You would have had me for breakfast. I wouldn't have lasted 5 minutes. A corruption allegation in those days? Come on.
So what were you thinking of, your career prospects?
It was 1974. People like Peter Mowbray were getting away with murder.
Yes, and the Wilson brothers were being sent down for it. 17 years in prison.
Yeah. All right. I will say whatever I have to get those men released.
But you'll wait till the call comes, will you?
Well, they only want the name of the man who did it, not anyone who might have suspected.
I shouldn't worry, John. You're fireproof. They'll throw Mowbray's reputation to the dogs, and why not? He's dead, isn't he? You'll be all right. I'll see you, John.
Yeah. Stay in touch, Charles.
You coming for a drink, June?
No, thanks. I've seen enough booze for one day.
Okay. You know, Monroe wants to see me tomorrow, before the shift. He wants to go through my pocketbook, see why I was held up.
But you're on another job.
Yeah.
Anyway, it looks like the pains are going to be done for negligence.
Yeah?
Yeah, it turns out Fielder was covering up for him. Payne's boy was on the at-risk register in Essex up until the beginning of last year.
Some friendship, eh?
Yeah. Well, if one of them gets abused now, it'll be in a children's home.
You certainly do know how to look on the bright side, don't you?
Oh, he'll be all right. Thank you very much.
Hello, boys. Just back from your travels. Everything all right? Yeah, but it is now, yeah. Which one of you is Jason, then, eh?
I'm.
Yeah? Well, don't worry. These two will see you right if you want anything.
I want my mum and dad.
I think I will have that drink.
Sergeant Cryer, Chief Inspector Conway, we're here for the two-day tactical training course.
You should have been on the bus. Yeah, well, we missed it. You can try and park round to the right, but I'm making no promises. Do you know your way?
Yeah, we have been here before.
Stop! And please!
Holster! All right, Loxton. Talk us through that decision.
Suspect was armed with a shotgun. He failed to respond to a clear challenge. I shot him.
You'd assassinate anybody with a shotgun who ignored what you said. Remind me not to go for a walk with you in the country.
I didn't assassinate him, Staff.
You shot him in the back. Never saw John Wayne do that.
I had to shoot. He was getting away.
Any comments? You all agree with that decision?
I don't agree with that, Staff. Suspect was moving upstairs, not running out the door. Could have been contained, talked out.
I don't know what the layout is upstairs in that building. I'm not taking that chance. I took him out while I still could.
We do know something about the upstairs. There's people up there. There was screaming.
Yeah, that's right. I was firing to protect a member of the public and prevent the suspect escaping.
That's what you'll tell the coroner's court.
That's enough to square it, isn't it, Stan?
Don't ask me, Loxton. It was your decision, and you'll stick to it.
Sure.
The evidence that will be given to the coroner is that a man was found on the stairs, shot in the back. When he fell, his hands were above his head. Nearby was a shotgun, unloaded. You'll argue for your decision.
Yes. I had reason to believe the man was armed and dangerous. That's good enough for me.
Put the gun on the table, Loxton. Morgan?
Good.
Bob!
Mr. McKenna, how are you doing?
Same old face in the same old place. I hear you're an indoor policeman these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try and contain him, but it is a struggle.
Inspector McKenna, this is Chief Inspector Ops, Mr. Conway.
Hello. Bob Cryer and I go back a long way, Mr. Conway. So you're here for the tactical training?
Yeah.
Yeah, they said you could bring us up to speed on the armed response vehicles.
It came through in orders, but they thought we ought to come and have a look at the hardware.
Well, it's nothing like hands-on experience, as the actress said to the bishop. Listen, there's coffee on the go in the canteen. The tactical training group's assembling there.
Right, fine.
You see, with a laser sight, you look through the scope, and there's your red dot on the target. You know where your round's going to go.
Yeah, it's like the gear they had in the Gulf. It takes the weighting out wanting.
Well, that tells you you've got a clear shot. It doesn't tell you to take it.
No, well, that's always going to be down to the man who's pulling the trigger, isn't it?
Squeezing the trigger.
Look, you either got it or you haven't, Fulbright.
You're talking as if it's just a matter of having the balls to squeeze the trigger. You've also got to know when not to.
Very true, Fiona. Very true. Might be up against a man with an empty gun, for instance.
You're still picking holes in my decision. See that geezer over there? The one with the big hooter? One of our skippers. He blew away a slag who had an empty shotgun and walked. Morning, Skip.
I've just seen Loxton.
Yeah, he's doing his basic firearms. Do you want tea or coffee, Bob?
Tea, please.
2 teas and
I thought they'd stop taking people from the reliefs for training. Well, they won't be wanted, will they? With the ARVs in operation?
Yeah, well, Loxton's put in for the diplomatic protection group. 60 pence. 60 pence. They want him, like, but they prefer him with a pink card.
So that means that Mr. Munro and Mr. Brownlow have supported his application?
Yeah. Well, so have I, as a matter of fact. You got something to say about that?
No, it's not up to me to make waves. Get him off our hands. Bit drastic.
That's not why we supported his application. There's nothing on his record to say he shouldn't carry a firearm.
I wouldn't give him a sparkler on Guy Fawkes night. But as I say, that's not down to me.
No, you're right there, it's not.
This is a situation where speed of response is of the essence, where there may be lives at stake. Is this structure doing the business for us?
Well, the AFOs on the relief could be spread all over the ground. By the time we've got them back, we've briefed them, we've armed them, God knows what's going down at the scene.
Well, what about the AFOs on the relief, who have to hold the fort until the cavalry arrive?
Well, they have had basic training.
And damn good basic training.
Well, yes, indeed, but they are beat coppers. They're not specialists. They haven't practiced working together as a team in a number of situations. There's a lot to go wrong.
Well, that's how we're used to doing it. Now, when CAD tells the CCC, they can assign an armed response vehicle constantly on patrol and instruct them to arm and go to the location.
Armed police! Come out with your hands up! Lie flat on
Easy
the ground.
peasy if everyone sticks to the script.
Unload, prove and show clear. Clear and holster. Clear and holster. Clear and holster. Line is clear, forward and score. $12 out of a possible 20. We'll have a word, Fulbright.
Yeah, I think what it is, I'm overcompensating for trajectory stuff, which is really pretty flat at this range, so I'm aiming too high. That's why 2 went over.
You won't get any points for shooting down the helicopter, Fulbright. 18. Good. Keep it up, Morgan.
Staff.
Being flash, Loxton.
Muscle pulled instead of squeezed stuff.
What you taught to aim for?
Central mass of the body stuff.
Bear it in mind, that's a bad shot. 17.
Join you, Skip.
Sure. What do you reckon to these ARVs, then?
Well, swings and roundabouts, like all new ideas. We say it shakes down in practice.
Pack a tasty bit of firepower, don't they? Those H&K self-loading carbines are the business. Mate of mine carries one at Heathrow. You get the wrong end of that, you can kiss your ass goodbye.
Well, I'll say this for having armed response vehicles doing the business. At least it reduces the chance of giving pink cards to cowboys.
I reckon I got mine in the bag. I've been shooting 8, 9 out of 10. What do you used to get, Skip?
I managed.
Of course, it's not just technique, is it? You got to have the temperament. They threw your bit of bother at me this morning.
Bit of bother?
Yeah. In decision-making on the gallery range. This slag with the shotgun wouldn't stop. I took him out, and then they'd tell you his gun's unloaded. That's his bad luck, right, Skip?
It's that, all right.
But you swear it away. I believed the gun was loaded. I fired to protect my life and the lives of members of the public. You kept your head. You said the right thing and walked. Nothing to lose sleep over.
Look, Loxton, we'll compare notes on losing sleep when you've done the job for real.
Right. Right, yeah, point taken, Skip. Better get back to it, then.
Good idea. You've still got a few things to learn, Stephen.
I reckon I'll be back on form tomorrow.
Sure you will, Barry.
Like any sort of training, you don't want to peak too early. Well, you can't find it on the day.
Are you getting on this bus or what?
You take the window seat, Fiona.
That's your lot, Matt. See you tomorrow, yeah?
fancy a drink when we get back to town?
Not when there's work tomorrow. Early to bed tonight with a glass of warm milk.
Don't know about that. I read that top-class hitmen always make passionate physical love before they do a job. Well, gets their eye in.
Where did you read that?
James Bond book, actually.
I've got more faith in warm milk.
Thank you. Loxton? He's not dropped anything spherical on the course.
Will he qualify?
Depends on the written test and the assessment shoot, but on the form he's shown so far, he should do.
There you go.
Does that give you a problem, Bob?
That's not my business.
Oh, you're not still on about it, are you?
I'm not saying a dicky bird. I've been told to wind my neck in. Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, you might as well spit it out now.
Right. Well, I've never been impressed by Loxton ever since he come to Sunhill. I don't trust his honesty or his judgment as a beat copper. I think it's Loxton first, the public, his mates, nowhere. I wouldn't give him a whistle, let alone a gun.
Well, I have to say, you've been off the relief a while now, Bob, and you're not best placed to pass judgment on the lad.
Look, all this is wasted on me, gents. I'm not handpicking the Magnificent Seven. On the basic course, I'm looking for average coppers who make average decisions. They succeed or fail by what they do, not by what's said about them in the pub. Each armed response vehicle carries 3 Glock self-loading pistols. It also carries 2 Heckler & Koch MP5 self-loading carbines. This session is a chance to familiarise yourself with that weapon, so that you're aware of the kind of firepower you can call down when you bring in the ARV. And Mr. Conway's our first punter, eager to win himself a coconut. Muffs up. Make ready. Unload, make safe.
I know. Fire only aimed shots. Fire no more rounds than absolutely necessary.
Takes training and practice.
Yeah, well, I'll leave it to the specialists. Thanks very much.
Who's next? Mr. Cryer?
No thanks, staff. I had my hands-on experience. Learnt my lessons.
Mr. Morriston.
Right then. You've spent a lot of time thinking about and practicing what you are going to do to them. This is by way of a reminder what they can do to you. Shotguns. Tens of thousands of them in circulation, licensed and unlicensed. Legitimate uses in sport, pest control and so forth. First cartridge is a number 9, 600 lead pellets. What happens when you're up against that from a sawn-off shotgun?
It spreads right out from a sawn-off barrel staff. Put your hands over your face, most of it will go past you.
You're acquainted with shotguns?
Oh, yeah.
Who isn't? Morgan, want to try it out?
Okay, staff.
Go on then. Fire enough, Morgan. Muffs and glasses. Go for the face, please, Morgan. Put another one up the spout. You don't have to be an expert to do that with a number 9 cartridge. The next one's an SG round, 9 heavy balls. In the chest, please, Morgan. That's equivalent to 9 officers firing pistols at the same time. Next round, Morgan. The last round is a rifled slug, a single solid projectile. Chest again, please, Morgan. That would take out your breastbone, your heart, and a section of your spine, effectively ending your interest in the proceedings. Thank you, Morgan. Take a good look and give it some thought. One final demonstration concerning shotguns. Loxton, you have a go.
Right, Staff.
Back to the firing line. Muffs and glasses. Fire at it, Loxton. It's only water. Mind you, the human body's nearly all water.
Shotgun blast in the water? Yeah, makes you think, doesn't it?
Well, gentlemen, you've had a chance to familiarise yourself with the vehicles and equipment, and also with the operating philosophy of the armed response vehicles. They're on the streets, ready to respond to your demands. It's a major new way of dealing with firearms. So, how are you settling down with it?
Well, we haven't needed to use it operationally so far at Sun Hill, but I'm all in favour of it. I mean, I've had it drummed into my skull over the last few years that the police are a social service. We play politics with the local council. We have multi-agency initiatives with education and social workers.
Not what some of us thought we joined up for, eh, Derek?
No, indeed. But there it is. And we're also supposed to go on dealing with everyday crime and public order. Well, that's quite enough for my lads to be getting on with without tooling up and playing the SAS.
The situation is that there's been an armed robbery, in the course of which a man was shot. He's in a critical condition in hospital. Armed suspects were reported entering these premises after the raid. You've been tasked to search the premises. Muffs and glasses. Drawn weapons position. You open a door, react to what you see. Holster. Tell us about it.
The man was armed. The gun was pointed in my general direction.
Not directly, are you?
Directly enough.
What do you say?
Could have challenged?
Not enough time. The gun could have been on him and fired while he was drawing breath.
So the woman screams and says, "You've shot my husband." A man ran through and dropped that gun and my husband just picked it up.
I had to make my decision on the basis of what I saw and what I'd been told.
Let's see what would have happened if you'd held fire. You got it right that time. Forget that scene. Situation as before. You're searching the premises where armed suspects were reported after a robbery. Muffs and glasses. Drawn weapon position. You open a door, react to what you see. Holster. Why did you shoot him?
Saw enough shotgun pointed straight at me.
You've killed a man for carrying an umbrella, Loxton.
Yeah, well, I thought... From what I could see...
Subsequent inquiries will reveal that the man had no connection with the robbery.
Well, he shouldn't have...
Been there? Pointed his umbrella? You'd execute him for that. Comments?
Tricky one, Staff. Very tricky. Lot to be said either way.
It's a mistake. An honest mistake. If I'd been told there was an armed blagger on the premises and seen that first picture, I'd have blown him away. Mistakes are going to happen.
If you can convince the coroner's court that you believed he was armed and a threat to life, you could walk away. Still have yourself to live with. New situation. You're accompanying another officer and a bailiff to serve a warrant on a man with a record for violence and firearms offences. You enter a block of flats and go to the address you've been given. Muffs and glasses. Drawn weapons position. React to what you see.
Mr. Norris? No, wrong address. You're sure about that?
Well, of course I am. Do you mind showing us some identification? What for?
Police!
Holster?
No, I'm not knocking the new system. I hope it gets results and I hope it avoids the grief. And personally, if it means I don't have to go on the street with a gun ever again, I shall be very grateful. But it is one more step down a particular road. Now, each step is a good move in itself, but we could end up going somewhere we don't want to go.
What's that got to do with the ARVs?
Well, that road leads to two separate forces. Social workers in uniforms and tooled-up paramilitaries, and that's where ARVs are taking us.
We're talking about firearms here. You're not saying that we should put our lives and the public's lives at risk so a slag can be shot by his home-beat constable?
No, of course I'm not saying that.
Bear in mind the ARVs are under the control of the local officers at the scene.
Yes, like when I called in PT-17 for the hostage taker. I was Silver Control and they did the job I asked them to. Or did we get that wrong, according to you?
No, I never said that either. And I'm not claiming to have the answers to all this. I'm talking about what worries me after a long time at the sharp end. That's all.
One very good argument for the new system is the long-term psychological effects a firearms incident can have on officers who aren't specialists.
Hello? Yes. Yes, right. You'll see now.
Come in. Sit down, Olsen. So, what did you want to see me about?
I screwed up on the gallery range this morning.
It's there to put you on the spot. We're not looking for perfection.
Yeah, but I screwed up badly. I froze, and then I panicked, and that's the truth.
Have you talked to your instructor?
He said one incident wouldn't blow me out, as long as my overall performance was up to scratch and I did all right in the final test and assessment shoot.
So, do you feel you need extra tuition, or what?
It's not just the decision-making stuff. I'm a good shot, I can do the business on the ranges. But it's just I've had to think about real-life situations, about shooting at people.
Sure.
I'm a good copper, stuff. I've got the bottle. If it's a matter of getting stuck in, I don't hang back. I thought I could hack it with firearms. I thought if a scrote needs taken out, I'll do it, no bother. I don't feel that way now. I'm just not confident I won't freeze or panic out there on business.
Well, it's got to be your decision, Loxton. Maybe you should take some more time to think about it.
No thanks, Staff. I've made my mind up. I'm quitting.
Hang on then.
You got it wrong about Loxton then, Bob.
How do you mean?
You know my definition of real courage? Not running around firing guns. Knowing when you're not right for a job and speaking up about it.
Well, I wouldn't argue with that. Saying Loxton's quit the course.
You've been very unfair to that lad, Bob, slagging him off as a cowboy.
Would you have failed him?
It's nobody's business now, Bob. And I think you're wrong about his motivation.
You got him down as a bastard, and you just won't change your mind, will you?
No, I've changed my mind. I decided he's a cunning bastard.
You're serious? You're really jacking it?
Yep.
Why, Steve?
Started thinking about gunshot wounds. I don't want to get wasted or spend the rest of my life in a wheelchair forgetting between some woke politician and his voters.
Is that really it?
What else? If I hear a rumour of armed suspects, from now on, I'm taking deep cover and shouting for an armed response vehicle. And I hope you leap out with your heckler and cock and sanction the baddies. I'll buy you a drink when the shooting stops.
Is that what you told McKenna?
Don't be soft. I gave him the sub-story about how I was too nice to shoot people. Came out smelling of roses. Mate of mine's having a party Saturday night.
Phil, you ready? Said you give me a lift, mate. Be right there.
You want a lift, Rich?
Oh, George. No, that's right, thanks, mate. I got one.
All right, mate.
Hey, you haven't got a bird in here, have you?
you know your tax disc is up?
Not a lot of point in renewing until it's past its MOT.
Yeah, well, one expense after the other, ain't they, motors? That's why I don't bother.
181 Data, Sierra Oscar 86, covering beats 2 and 4. 171 Hollis, front office. 363 Loxton, 340 Quinnan, Sierra 1. 134 Young, beat 5, foot patrol. Everybody happy? Sir. Sir.
Yes, may I just commend to you the notice inviting applications for the next SHIELD training course. Open to all officers, male and female. I know there's a few of you who haven't been yet, Hollis.
I'd like to have a go, sir.
I'll give them a call and see if they think they could cope. That's all, thanks. Off you go.
Phil.
I already applied, didn't get in.
Yeah, no, look, beat 5. Could you remember to visit the mosque, please?
Mosque?
Yeah, mosque. Cowdell Road. Beat officer always shows his face, gets a cup of tea from Mr. Amarnath. If you use the side door, you won't have to take your boots off. All right?
Yes, Sarge.
Well, at least he looks smart.
From the shirt collar down, yes, sir.
134 from Sierra Oscar receiving, over. 134 from Sierra Oscar.
Phil Young's not responding, Sarge.
Well, there's a couple of dead spots on 5 beat. What do you want him for?
There's a guy reported up a tree, Holbury Street.
134 from Sierra Oscar receiving, please.
And again, maybe it's him stuck up a tree.
Yeah, well, obviously you need it for the TSG, but I mean, who wants to spend 8 hours a day cooped up in a carrier, eh? Shield trained or not? I thought it was after PT-17 anyway. Yeah. But I wouldn't mind a tour on the TSG for starters. There's got to be more sport in that than you get on division. I mean, when you analyse it, 50% of our work here is crap.
Sierra 1, Sierra Oscar receiving, over.
Sierra 1 receiving.
Can you go to the western end of Holbury Street, please? Apparently there's a man stuck up a tree, drunk.
ETA, 2 minutes. Told ya. Crap. Leave it out, will ya? Well, hurrah, hurrah. It's Martin. Who? The one who slashes up Woolworths windows every Saturday afternoon.
Oh, yeah. He keeps spitting at people. Ugh.
Could be worse, love. Oi, Tarzan! Are you coming down or am I going to shake you down? Ease up, ease up. He could do himself a mischief. That's his problem. All right, mate? You stuck?
No, I'm not stuck.
It's Martin, isn't it? Well, it don't look too safe up there. Why don't you come down, eh?
If I come down, you'll nick me.
No, we won't. Come on.
You'll nick me because you're always nicking me.
We got a saw in the boot. Look, we don't want to nick you, right? We want to get in the car and we want to drive away, honest. But we can't while you're stuck up there, can we, eh? You might fall and hurt yourself. Hey, look, all these people, they're all worried about you. I think he's stuck. Call the fire brigade. Shotgun will be quicker. Sierra Oscar from 363, receiving, over.
Receiving.
Yeah, can we have a rescue appliance, please? Get this prat out of his tree. Scrub that and make it an ambulance.
Ambulance required, western end of Holbury Street. Man's fallen out of a tree.
Thank you, Control.
"134 from Sierra Oscar, receiving, over.
Yeah, all right, take it easy, Oh. Sierra Oscar from 340. Keep an eye on him in case he pukes. Yes, Holbury Street, Martin. Right, he's done his collarbone, but the tree's undamaged, so we'll just stick him in an ambulance when it arrives in NFA. Nursing a dog's breath. Phyllis should be doing this, it's his ground.
134 from Sierra Oscar, receiving, please.
Duff radio?
It's possible.
I've never known him to go off the air deliberately, I'll say that for him. I'm off for my rounds in a minute, I'll have a look for him.
Cheers, John. 134 from Sierra Oscar, receiving over.
Oh! Where are you taking me?
363 from Sierra Oscar.
Receiving over.
Have you seen Phil Young on your travels?
No, Tony, we haven't.
How long since last contact?
Tried to raise him just over half an hour ago, sir, about 14:50. Nothing then or since.
And before that?
No, sir.
So basically, we've heard nothing of him since he went out on patrol at 14:10?
No, nothing at all.
Sierra Oscar from 63.
Go ahead, John.
No joy at the mosque, which there should have been by now. It's near the start of his bean. I specifically told him to look in.
I'm going to push on to Regent Parade, see if anyone there's clocked him.
Understood, John. Out.
Anything on offer on 5 beat, is there? Bored housewives? Rich widows?
I really wouldn't know, sir.
Keep me posted. Yeah, can I call you back?
John Maitland's drawn another blank, sir. I think maybe we ought to start looking in dark corners.
Yes, all right. Don't denude the whole ground yet, though. Area car plus officers on adjacent beats. Tell them to liaise with John.
I'm going to start backtracking from here, Alec. If he was working his beat properly and anything happened to him prior to 1450, he can't have got much further than this. Hang on. Marika, could you check the back doubles off Graydon Road? I'm going to go back up the high street.
Right, Sarge.
All right, thanks.
No way could our Phil be OTS with a Merry Widow.
Oh, I don't know. Still waters run deep.
Him? He's probably gone walkabout on another planet, where he came from.
Elcombe Estate clear. Moving on to Whittingham Grove. Over.
Understood, George. Thank you.
What's all the excitement then? Canteens aren't empty.
Phil Young's gone missing on 5 beat.
Well, actually, Sarge, I'm not wishing to drop a colleague in it, but I don't think he's on 5 beat. No, I think he's gone to have his car MOT. Yeah, I saw him driving out to Young, you know.
When?
Oh, about 2:15.
Bit of a long MOT.
You should see his motor.
What's happened?
Hollis has just thrown fresh light on Young's lack of response, sir.
What?
He was seen in his car. Theory is he's gone for an MOT.
Has he, by God?
Yeah, well, sir, I could be wrong.
Did you see him in his car or not?
Yes, I did.
Call off the search. Hollis?
Sir?
You silly boy, Philip.
Reminds me, let's get mine done next week.
Now that is worth looking for.
All units from Sierra Oscar. Search discontinued. Return to normal patrols.
What, has he been found then, or what?
Not exactly, but he's not missing on 5 beat.
Give him this 999 and shut him up.
Sierra 1, emergency call from the Jasmine Allen estate.
Mrs. Eileen Robson.
Nature.
Too incoherent to say. Waiting outside Nottingham House.
Sierra 1 on way.
Shouldn't we have some backup?
Nah, we're all good friends on the good old JA nowadays.
There's a man in the car.
Sorry?
The engine is running. The exhaust, quickly!
Go.
The exhaust!
Damn it, it's locked.
Dave, break it.
Steve! Steve!
It's Phil. Oh no. He's dead.
Sierra Oscar from 363, receiving.
Receiving 363.
It's Phil Young. We need Monroe down here.
Yes, sir. We've just had a death on duty, sir.
What?
PC Philip Young. Looks like suicide.
You're a bit swift, Andrew. I'd rather not leave one of my men lying in a public place. All right, if we... Straight forward. No marks on him. Doors locked. Engine running.
No notes?
No.
Who found him?
Loxton and Quinnen.
His parents live in North London, sir.
We got a phone number? I better give them a ring, make sure they're in.
Would you prefer I did that, sir?
No. Any revision on the cause of death?
No, I'm afraid not. CID are on the scene, but there's nothing suspicious.
All right, Dave, thank you. Mrs. Young, my name is Brownlow. I'm the Chief Superintendent of Sun Hill Police Station. I wondered if I might call round this afternoon and have a word with you and your husband. He's... Yes, it is. I'm afraid I have some rather bad news for you. Look, I could be round in half an hour. It'd be better if I talked to you then. All right. Thank you. Derek. Find me a driver, will you? Preferably somebody who knew him. Was he under any kind of special stress?
Not to my knowledge, sir, no.
You better inform area. Nothing wrong in his last appraisal, was there?
There was no suggestion of any suicidal tendency, sir, no.
You can take the tape down, we've finished here.
Yes, sir.
What have you got?
Just Mrs. Robson, sir. She was passing just after 4 o'clock, heard the engine running, and dialed 999.
Didn't see him arrive?
No.
Okay. Are you all right?
Sir.
Knocks you back, I know. Tea time. Tell George as well.
George?
You all right? Writing up, please.
He's going back now, sir.
What about the motor, Gov?
Where's the hose?
It's in the boot.
You better bring it in. What, me? Well, we can't leave it here, can we?
Oh, cheers.
See you later, Andrew.
Yes.
So that's Phil Young. Finished and gone.
Doesn't say much for our powers of man management, does it? These lads and lasses are our responsibility.
To a point. But in the end, they have to be responsible for themselves. Everyone does. If they won't talk to you, what can you do?
Get him in, will you, George?
The tea's all round, yeah?
Yeah.
Norika. I know how you must be feeling.
How do you know how I feel? You don't know how I feel.
All right, you're not the only one this has happened to. It's part of the job, you know.
It's not fair. I mean, he's dead now and he's still on my back. He's still affecting my life. There's going to be an inquest.
Look, it's not
and
your
it's
fault.
all going to come out.
There is nothing you could have done about it. He was a very strange man. He was mentally unhinged.
I know that.
He'd found two
I know
suicides in the space of a few weeks. He had this thing about you. He's got a really strange attitude to women.
Maybe
He assaulted you. You've got
Maybe
no
I should
reason
have
to
told
feel
Monroe.
sorry
Maybe
for
I
him.
should have told Monroe.
Yeah, maybe you should have done. What could Monroe have done, huh?
Well, maybe he could have helped him.
Yeah, maybe he could have suspended him. Maybe he could have sacked him. Maybe he'd have got a pat on the back from his friends.
But that's the point, isn't it? He didn't have any friends, so he picked on me.
Hey, come on. Calm down. There.
Bad business, Dan.
Yes, sir. Don't envy you.
Well, you've had to notify deaths, presumably.
Yes, sir. Suicide's different, though. Old-fashioned word. To me, suicide's wicked. It's the ultimate selfishness.
It's a robust point of view. I don't think it's one I should be putting to the parents, though.
I checked his locker.
Anything you wouldn't want his mum to see?
Empty. Completely empty.
When you're ready, we'll do his room.
Mr. Young? Chief Superintendent Brownlow. I'm sorry I had to phone first, but obviously if you want in.
What on earth has happened?
Mrs. Young?
Yes?
Take a seat. Thank you. As I said to you on the phone, I've got some bad news for you. I'm afraid Philip died this afternoon.
On duty?
Yes, he was found in his car at 4 o'clock.
Smash up?
No.
Somebody shoot him?
No. Look, I realize how very difficult this must be for you both, but all the indications are that Philip took his own life. So until the inquest, that's just an unofficial verdict, but I'm afraid there can be no doubt.
You wouldn't do that. Not our Philip. He couldn't.
Well, as I say, it's just an unofficial.
What have you done to him? He was fine till he left home.
Mrs. Young, in all his time at Sun Hill, Philip never let anybody down. In any situation. You can both be very proud of him.
Very considerate. Sir?
Coroner first, I'm afraid.
Not sealed. Dear Mum and Dad, I did my best. Love, Phil.
Yeah, but why there? Good a place as any. Why on our ground?
I don't know, I probably didn't realise it was our ground.
So we'd find him. The ultimate wind-up. The ultimate revenge for all the times we wound him up.
Look, he was cracked, Steve, all right.
Do you fancy a drink, Norika?
Yeah, all right.
One condition. You don't start any of that, we're all guilty crap.
Well, perhaps we are. We didn't do much to help him, did we?
Did you do something for us then?
I don't know.
But Norika, it was his decision. He drove himself, parked very neatly, and did it. There's nothing wrong with being different, so long as you've got something else to offer. Something in here. Phil Young didn't. He should never have been in the job.
Well, he's not now, is he?
He's away now, drives lorries. It's your best chance. He'll kill her one of these days. You can hear them screaming sometimes. Glass breaking, all sorts. Then she came out this morning, face all battered, just to put the rubbish out, but she looked awful.
Mrs. Baines?
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry to bother you.
Well, you better come inside. Hello, Margaret. I hope you don't mind, dear, but I was there.
How does this grab you? Uniform got a call for domestic violence. Battered wife. 3 stitches, gummed up eye, bloody lip. Turns out she's a part-time Tom called Margaret Baines. Says her part-time husband never touched her. Says it was a customer. Smacked her silly. Ring any bells? Well, we'll have some installed if the budget will run to it. Right, that was last night. Here we go. Angela Thomas, full-time prostitute.
Yeah, I know Angela.
And you're a married man with 5 kids.
I thought she was a stripper.
Yeah, well, she was. But now she works Sunnyvale Road. Ackland saw her down St Hughes 3 days ago. Landscape gardening to the face.
Occupational hazard, Gov.
That's 2 in 1 week. Now, what's going on? Well, anyone there?
Rival pimps, could be a territorial war. It's happened before, Gov.
So it has.
Or a nutter?
Right, well, there's a cherry in here somewhere, so let's bite it. Tosh, you go and talk to your snouts. Viv, you and I go and talk to Thomas.
Anything I can do, Gov?
Yeah. If a DCI sticks her nose in, tell her we're rescuing maidens. G! It's Frank Burnside.
Who's she? WDC Martella. What do you want?
Have a talk.
Forget it.
Someone bashed you up?
Who says?
Well, what's that on your face? Eczema?
I walked into a lamppost. What do you want, Frank?
This lamppost. I reckon he's due for a collar. That looks nasty.
It happens.
How?
Someone got frisky.
What did he look like?
I don't know. It was dark.
Oh, I see. So he never got this far then? Electric lights and all.
That's right.
He just thumped you in the street?
He thumped me in the face.
Someone else got thumped yesterday. Margaret Baines. Do you know her?
No.
He could do it again, Angela.
Look, lay off me, will you? What do you charge? Dinner for 2.
You worked for Robbins down a club, didn't you?
Yeah. So that's it. You won't get Robbins.
I'm not after Robbins. I'm after what could be a very dodgy character. So far, he's just duffing up. You know what comes next.
He wanted to know if I'd seen Susie.
Who's Susie?
I don't know. I said I hadn't, he said I had. I said I hadn't. Great conversation. So he started.
Thumping you.
Thumping me, that's right, that's all.
Do you know who Susie is?
No. He said something about turning her into filth.
Margaret Baines works the same ground as you, doesn't she?
Close by.
For Robbins.
I never said I worked for Robbins. Come on, Frank.
All right, Angela. Look, you call me if you see this bloke again, all right?
Look, we'll sort it out ourselves, Frank.
Yeah, that's what worries me.
So, who is this Robbins character, Gov?
String puller. Keeps his hands clean, but he's got a lot of small-time villains around him. I'd love to bang him up.
So why don't you, if he's into all this?
I've been trying to for years. It's like trying to nail down jelly. Anyway, he'd only be a bad influence on the other cons.
We're closed.
I come here for the entertainment.
You got a warrant?
You got a licence. I want to see the boss.
Who does?
Don't be stupid. Where is he?
He's busy.
Is he? Hello there. Where's King Rat? Your governor.
Oh, I don't know. Who wants him?
I do.
I haven't seen him.
Do I know you?
Excuse me.
Martella, Sunhill CID.
What's it about?
How old are you?
Old enough, Burnside.
So what's her number then? Stripping?
Yeah, just for me. Don't worry about her. She's a good kid.
How long before she's on the game?
She was raped in school, and after she had her miscarriage, she was locked up for 6 weeks by her drunken mother, who half-starved her to death and beat her senseless. So she hit the streets, and I took her in. She's safe here. Well, you can ask her yourself if she wants to complain. You got any complaints? You see, I just look after her in Burnside. Take a walk, I'll see you later. She's a good kid. Don't hassle her.
Pity your Toms don't get looked after.
What are you talking about? Tom's? I run a club, you know that.
Say you did run Tom's.
But I don't.
Say you did, for the sake of argument.
All right, for argument's sake.
You'd be a bit worried, wouldn't you? I mean, they keep getting smacked about. Not that you'd be worried about their health. I mean, what's a few bruises? They could charge more for novelty value. But they might be looking about for somebody a little bit stronger to keep them. Right?
I have heard a rumour.
Oh, yeah. What?
Well, according to this rumour, a bloke called John Hawkins beat up a couple of hookers.
John Hawkins from the garage?
Yeah, that's right.
He's banged up.
Oh, yeah. Well, what I heard was that he's getting to be a bit of a pain. So if you lot don't do something about him, someone else will.
Hawkins out. Hawkins on my ground and I don't know about it. Do you know what kind of a prat that makes me look?
He absconded a week ago, Gov.
Oh, now you tell me.
Well, I didn't know either. LIO said they put a note up.
He must have got lost, Gov.
Lost? Who lost it?
Well, there's a lot of paper flying about here, isn't there?
So what happened to all this streamlining and efficiency? You lot are all living in a stone age. Where's his file, Alistair?
Well, it's around here somewhere.
Oh, I suppose you lost that and all.
Boss, it was on your desk.
Oh, was it?
So, why has he done a runner?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry, Gov, here it is, yeah.
And why is he beating up prostitutes?
Sounds like he's flipped.
Here we go. No psycho problems on his prison file. He did all right, couple of classes, one caution for an unmade bed. No reason for bunking off, sociable, no enemies. He did see a citizen's advice worker the week before he went over. The Sunhill local's got an outreach service lady by the name of Jane Turner.
Oh, I know her. I went in there when they had a bit of trouble back in uniform. She's all right.
Good. She might know something. Right, Tosh, I want you and Alistair to go and see Mrs. Hawkins. That's if you can find her address. And I want the uniform scouring the streets, so give them a photograph. You and I go and see Miss Turner.
Yeah, well, they don't like helping us too much, Gov.
Well, we help them, don't we? She owes us.
All the best. Bye-bye.
Miss Turner?
Yes?
D.I. Burnside, WDC Martella, Sunhill CID.
We met before.
Yes, so we did. And I'm sorry, would you mind coming this way? Please. Round to the left, thanks.
All right, Kev?
You should have phoned us first.
I'm sorry, it's urgent.
I'm sure it is. It's generally best if you come out of hours.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Miss Turner. I can see you're busy.
I don't like to see the plods about, Viv. Upsets the punters. We've come to see you about your prison outreach service, Miss Turner. You had a client there, John Hawkins. Petty theft. Long history. We got him on a handling charge. Got 2 years, done about 1. He came to see you about something in the outreach service. Now, the question is what?
I can't tell you that.
Mrs. Hawkins.
Yeah, we'd like a word.
I don't know where he is.
Well, have you seen him?
Look, I've got a job here.
Why is he absconded?
I don't know. No, I don't know. He called by, got some cash.
Where's he staying?
Out somewhere, I don't know.
We'd like to look round your home, please.
Go on, Warren.
We can get one, Mrs. Hawkins.
So get it.
Stop pressurising me. I can't help you. We've got a principle of confidence here that you know about. Look, I'm not against you. I understand why you're concerned. I'm concerned too, very.
Oh, that's good. We understand each other. That's very good. Understanding, concern, cooperation.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that we wholeheartedly support the outreach service. At the moment.
It's by agreement with the prison services.
So it is.
Can we leave it there? If you're threatening me...
I'll never threaten. Under Section 19, Paragraph 3 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act 1983, right? A constable lawfully on the premises has the right to seize materials if he or she feels they have reasonable grounds for believing that those same materials could be usable as evidence in connection with any committed offence. Now, when I say seize, I don't mean kicking doors down. I think we understand each other.
What grounds?
Reasonable.
Specifically?
A tip-off. Oh, and a few battered women.
You don't need evidence that a man's escaped from jail. He has, or he hasn't.
I am looking for evidence in connection with these assaults.
If he came to see me, he would have done so before the assaults.
He might have said he was planning it.
You can only seize confidential material for proof.
Let's discuss it in court.
They won't be very sympathetic.
I'm not looking for sympathy.
Paragraph 3 states that you have to be on the premises. Well, you're not. This room is lent to us informally and occasionally by the Council for Racial Equality. CAB office is now closed, and so is our meeting. Good day.
I'll see you again, Turner. Don't you worry about that.
She paid him a visit, came on her own 2 weeks before he absconded.
That must have brightened his day.
And then she went to see him again the day before he did a runner.
So what?
So maybe she said something.
What, come home, all is forgiven?
Listen, Gov, that's 2 weeks before and the day before he did a runner.
What are you saying?
All right. What if Mrs. Hawkins told him something that made him see the CAB, and then she told him something that made him do a runner?
Like what?
I don't know.
Thank you, Viv.
Oh, we saw Mrs. Hawkins.
Yeah?
He popped in for clothing and cash. She says she hasn't seen him since. He's not staying there. She doesn't know where he is staying, doesn't know why he absconded, probably doesn't know what year it is.
Yeah, all right, Alistair. Get a warrant, turn the place over. You never know.
Yeah.
Josh. Gov. There's a smart little tart that needs tracking. Her name's Jane Turner. She works for the Citizens Advice Bureau. I want to know what she does in her spare time.
OK, Gov.
Gov, we can't start hassling the CAB.
I'm talking about surveillance, not hassling. Be a bit discreet, Tosh. Don't bite her ankles.
Right, Gov.
She told you why she can't.
She's holding back on me. I don't like people who hold back on me.
Gov, we can't lean on the CAB.
Tosh couldn't lean on a lamppost. You and I, we'll go and see that part-time Tom. What's her name? Margaret Baines.
Hello. Are you Mrs. Baines?
I rather doubt that, Viv. Have you seen her?
Yes, she's gone to work.
Do you know where?
I don't know, but she works at night sometimes.
What's that, clubs, casinos?
Well, she dresses up nice.
Does she? Right. Well, thanks very much.
Are you from the social services?
Not exactly, love.
She's on the job then. Could be anywhere.
Yeah. Now, we know that Thomas works for Robbins, right?
Yeah.
And Robbins reckons in his own slimy way that two of his girls got a slapping.
Okay.
Now, Baines works for Robbins, which means they must be both working the same patch.
Yeah. And if Thomas works at Sunnyvale Road...
Then so does Baines. I'll get someone shady to go and do a bit of curb crawling.
You're from the police, aren't you? Well? You're not a store detective, and I don't look like a shoplifter. Well, I don't know. Maybe I do. Is that what you think? What do criminals look like? Do you think I'm a criminal?
I don't think you're a criminal, love.
So what are you following me for? I know what's happening. I know people are getting hurt, but I can't help you. Why can't you just leave me alone?
Get upstairs, you! I said now! And stay there!
Would you wait in there, please?
How's it going?
Sheila's in there waiting for a chat. No sign of Hawkins.
Yeah, well, not to worry. Listen, I've got a job for you, but it's going to take a bit of subtlety. You go in there and soften up Her Majesty.
Right. Hello? You okay?
Am I under arrest?
No.
So I don't have to say nothing.
Where is he, Sheila?
I don't know.
Why's he done a runner?
You saw him the day before. Did he mention anything about going over?
Well, he must have said something.
Only the usual.
What?
Bogs are filthy, screws are bastards.
Does the name Susie mean anything to you?
No, nothing.
You've got a daughter called Susie.
Have I?
Why is your old man bashing up prostitutes?
Because he's stupid.
You what?
I told him.
What did you tell him?
She's gone, that's it. What's the point?
Do you know who she's with, Sheila?
Look, I don't have to say nothing.
Hello, darling.
It's all right, girls. DS Greg, CID. I'm not here to hassle you, okay? I'm looking for Margaret Baines, so if you know where she is, tell me. It's important. Listen, you know what's happening, yeah?
Oh? What's happening?
Well, whoever you're paying for protection isn't exactly giving value for money.
Yeah, well, maybe they should get their act together.
What, you mean Robbins? Is that how you mean?
I mean you lot. All right.
at home, for goodness sake.
Well, that's handy, because I need some help. Can I come in?
OK.
Sorry about this.
Yeah.
Nice place.
What do you want?
I know it's difficult at the office. Procedure and all that.
I'd have to speak to our National Association before I spoke to you in or out of the office.
Protection of confidence. I'm all for that. Unfortunately, there are a few women out there that it's a bit late to protect.
They're not my clients. The prisoners are. If they can't trust me, who else have they got?
Chaplains, welfare workers.
They're all part of the system.
That's us, Viv. The system.
You can't blame them for thinking that.
Do you?
I don't blame them.
Do you think we're part of the system?
I think we all work to the same ends.
I work to put people away.
That's a very limited end.
Yeah, well, my shining armour rusted up some time ago.
That's a pity. What happened?
I discovered reality.
No, Mr. Burnside. You discovered rust.
What happened?
What does it look like?
Was it Hawkins? Where's he gone?
It's all right. We're paying.
Where is he?
Who's asking?
DS Gregg, CID. Where is he, Robbins?
Where's who?
Hawkins? Mr. Hawkins, can you hear me?
I'm talking one client.
I'm talking principle. We're confidential or we're not. The damn thing would collapse if I breached that.
I'm talking about women getting bashed up, pushed around.
And pushing women around is an activity obviously repugnant to you, Mr. Burnside. Now get out!
Can he talk?
Just about. He won't finger Robbins.
Do you see it happen?
Sorry, Golf.
Yeah, hang on a minute. I want him, John. You give him to me, I'll go easy.
How easy?
Well, you have been a bit of a naughty boy.
They wouldn't talk. I was only asking.
Asking what?
Susie, she left home. The wife said she'd got him with...
Robbins.
On the game. They turned her into filth, Frank, and they wouldn't say where she was.
Well, they wouldn't, would they? They're not very helpful like that. But that don't mean you can bash them up. All right, mate.
Perhaps you could give him some lessons in tact, Gov.
Not a word. Nothing. Can't remember. 2 broken ribs, kneecaps down his shins, and he's gone blank.
Yeah, well, grasses aren't too popular where he's going.
Yeah, they wouldn't just mow him, they'd get the roller out.
So Robbins does a wriggle?
And wriggles out of it. So what's new?
Gun, there's a young lady down in the front office asking for you. Susie Hawkins.
I didn't think he'd do that to my dad. He was nice at first. He told me he'd keep me for himself. Then I had to be nice to his friends.
Susie, I'll tell you what I want. I want Robbins for GBH on your dad. All right?
Oh, you've got it.
And I want him for anything else you know about.
That's none of my business.
Susie, I can stick him in the can, but only you can stuff him down. All right?
Yeah. All right.
We got a result, eh?
Wait, you didn't get it.
Who's counting? I'll tell you one thing. I'd love to have seen Turner crack.
Met your match, eh, Gov?
If I'd met her socially, might have been a different story.
She'd still have...
595?
Such.
Area car. You'll be giving me the guided tour. Any questions? Good, because if you lot don't know this ground better than I do right now, we're in trouble. However, I will be putting myself about and getting up to speed in the course of the day. Let's have a good one.
I've already welcomed Sergeant Boyden to the relief. I'm sure he'll give us his best efforts and expect the same from you. Let's see that he's not disappointed.
Get yourself a cuppa. I'll come and find you in the canteen when I'm ready for the off.
Let's go.
It's my experience, Matthew, that you'll get the best work out of them if you're firm but fair.
I'm sure I'll manage, Mr. Munro. I usually get cooperation.
New sergeant on A relief.
Oh, yeah.
Come from Romford.
I don't blame him.
Apparently they transferred him here because he was caught giving one to a married WDS.
Is that what they say?
Bit of bad luck, according to the grapevine. Could have been anyone. She's not fussy. Didn't you spend some time at Romford?
I spend time in a lot of places. What's this new sergeant's name?
Boyden.
Small world.
If we carried straight on, we'd be on Barton Street ground. It's when one of our skippers got done for driving under the influence.
I see.
Well, we'll do a slip round the estate, yeah? Down the end of that road. It's where Sergeant Peters got knifed.
Fine. Bit accident-prone as skippers on this relief.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, Bob Cryer, you know, the duty sergeant, he used to be on this relief.
And he's lucky?
Not half. He shot somebody. Now they keep him indoors all day.
What if he's gone away for a few days?
Iles? He's not the type to stray too far from home.
So you and this Sergeant Boyden go back quite a long way, eh, Ted?
I know him.
Lively social scene, was it, Romford? It's just you've never really spoken much about it.
Maybe because I've got better things to talk about. Like the job in hand. Come on. Anthony Dias?
What you want?
Sunhill CID, Detective Sergeant Roach. This is Detective Constable Dashwood. Is your name Anthony Dias?
We have a warrant to search these premises for stolen property, Mr. Dias.
Well, I wouldn't know nothing about that.
Well, the sooner we get started, the sooner we get it over with.
After you, sir.
Sign here and here, please, sir. You'll be kept in a cell until your interview. Number 2, Reg.
This way, please.
It's an art form. Whoops.
You what?
This job. Once you're on top of it, everything clicks into... Oh!
What's the matter, Sarge?
Oh!
What have you done?
No, that hurts. Where's it hurts? Get round the back on the side, you see.
Let's get him on the floor, see what that's for.
Yeah. Careful. There you go.
Oh, well, it ain't opened up.
Hey?
Your wound.
Oh, don't be daft, Reg. That was months ago. Oh! It's not bleeding, is it?
Oh, no, you're all right, son. Although you can get internal hemorrhaging of epic proportions without external indications.
Muffin the mule?
You get 10 years for that.
It's a joke, Mr. Dias.
The electrical gear checks out with this list from the warehouse.
How about the soft toys, Mr. Dias?
I'm looking after them for a bloke.
And what would his name be?
I don't know, funnily enough. Like, we never got on those sort of terms.
So how do you know this bloke?
Met in the pub, didn't we?
All right. What pub?
But I don't really remember.
So do you want to tell us about this electrical equipment? Bearing in mind that it's on a list of stolen property.
No, not really.
We'll keep on searching then, Mr. Dias. I think you're going to clear up a lot of cases for us.
Go ahead, Sierra Oscar.
Return to the station immediately, please, Sarge.
On way.
style, Skip.
Why not? This is your own place, Tony?
Yeah.
Where do these houses go for now? I've been thinking of trading up to a bigger place.
I don't know, really. I didn't buy it. It was my mum and dad's place. I just stayed on.
I think we're talking about 150 grand, maybe more. I mean, if a windfall like that fell my way, I'd be tempted to sell up. Go on a world tour.
Big house for a man on his own.
I'll let the upstairs for a while. A lot of aggravation, though. Tenants.
Of course, you've got all your mates to keep you company, haven't you?
He's talking about the blokes you meet in pubs. The ones that bring their gear around for you to look after.
Oh, right.
Don't worry, I'm sure I'll be back by the end of the relief.
Bodies are building up, sir.
Sergeant Boyden will be here in a minute, Hollis. Don't panic.
Oh, sir, he can't just come in off the street, can he, and be the custody sergeant? I mean, you know, he don't know the ropes.
He knows the law, Hollis, which is more to the point. Anyway, there's no one else to do it. Sergeant Maitland's on his annual, and I've got other matters to deal with.
We all come off, Mr. Munro?
Yes, I'm sorry to drop you straight in it, but Alec Peters has been rushed off to casualties, so you'll have to take over.
No problem.
Hollis can brief you, up to a point. Now, don't hesitate to contact me about anything serious.
You get along, sir. We'll get the toothpaste back into the tube. Hey, Ginger.
Yes, Skipper. It's Sue Ford, Skipper.
Right, who's next? Custody suite, Sergeant Boyden. Look, tell her I'll ring her back later. There's a bit of a flap on.
Now, how much of this rubbish is stolen rubbish?
It's not all mine.
Keeping it for a friend?
Is this yours?
Solid silver.
What, Victorian?
Maybe Edwardian.
Somebody's family heirloom, anyway. What's the betting there's a description out on that?
I've got some friends, and they've got keys to the place, like, because I've got a bit of storage space, and they come and go. I wouldn't know about that.
And these friends who have keys, you must know their names.
Oh. Well, no. Well, what I mean is that there's people still got keys that used to live here, tenants, and they lend them to other people.
And to cut a long story short, they nick things and you sell them, right?
Anthony Dias, I'm arresting you on suspicion of dishonest handling.
Has number 2 been given any refreshment?
I checked her half an hour ago, but she's still sleeping it off.
I tell you what, before you get settled, check her again, just so as we're covered.
Yeah, sure.
Sergeant Boyden, custody suite. Get me an outside line, would you?
You feeling all right? Oh, you're not going to puke again.
I didn't want to the last time.
Let me give you a hand. Mind you don't fall, all right?
All right.
Sorry about that. Look, Irene, you've got to think this through carefully. I mean, walking out is a big step to take. I mean, where would you go?
Sarge, Sarge, we need to get this one banged up.
But Irene, you know my flat. It's tiny. 1 bedroom.
Sit down.
I'd say we need more than one. Things are getting a bit lively here. Look, I'll talk to you later, OK? Just don't do anything hasty.
Hell, Matt, your juggling is not what it used to be.
It's not from any of the jobs Dias was fingered for handling.
Yeah, silver dinner service. Rings a bell with me, too. Ah, gotcha. There it is. Oak box, the works.
Sit down.
Safe.
Name?
Swales. Patrick Arthur Swales.
Address?
Flat 24. cut rough to stay.
What do you do for a living?
Plasterer.
Date of birth?
8th of December, 1955.
Where were you born?
Yeah.
London. Height? All right then. Length?
Aggravated burglary out of his league.
Dias fences stuff from warehouse jobs or gear from the backs of lorries. These slags tied up their victims for 4 hours in their own home and stubbed fags out on them.
Animals.
He didn't seem any more worried about the silver than he did about the soft toys. I wonder if he knows what his friends have been up to.
Do you want to see a solicitor?
No.
Sign there and there. Do you want a copy of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, Codes of Practice?
Yeah, all right.
Right then.
Can I have a word, Sarge?
Hang about, Skip.
Well done. You will be called for an interview in due course. Number 3.
This way.
Well, they've certainly dropped you in at the deep end.
You know me, Ted. I always come up smelling of roses.
Or somebody's. Irene keeping well, is she?
Last I heard. Always speaks well of you. There are no hard feelings, are there, Ted?
No hard feelings at all, Matt. As my old dad used to say, what's given to a friend is not lost. By the way, you can help us out with this, Dias.
I know it all goes down on paper these days, Ted. Custody sergeant's next on the block.
No, I'm not talking about anything naughty. Not by any means. But if you could sort of take a special interest in him, let him know that you're his mate.
What, establish a bit the old rapport? No problem, Ted.
Good lad. After all, you are a good listener. Irene made that point at the time.
Yeah, I thought I'd better let you know the score, sir. Yeah, it's got nothing to do with my wound. No, they reckon I've strained a muscle. Now, I'll be right as rain with a day or so's rest.
There's Wu Ping's if you're into Chinese.
That's local, is it?
Yeah, just around the corner.
Have to give it a go.
I can't get on with Chinese food, personally.
Just spoke to Alec Peters.
How's he doing, sir?
It's just a pulled muscle. But you'll have to carry on at least for the rest of today, Matthew.
No problem, Mr. Munro.
Patrick Swales.
Swales? Drunk?
Yes, that's what it says here. Where's the evidence of arrest?
Well, things were a bit hectic when Swales went on the sheet, sir. I was going to get round to that later.
Later?
It'll all be square by the end of the shift, Gov.
I'm afraid that won't do. What is the evidence of arrest?
A PC Stringer made the arrest, sir.
Reason?
Stringer saw Swales walking down the middle of the road, waving his arms about and abusing passers-by.
Well, let's have it in black and white.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what goes on elsewhere, but on my relief, records are accurate and up to date. It's to everybody's advantage.
Yes, sir. As I say, we were under pressure.
I'm bearing that in mind. On this occasion.
What's that Stringer's evidence then, Sarge?
Search me, mate. I don't think we got round to it. Drunks are drunk, especially when you're busy.
Thing is, the governor will remember Andy last Stringer.
You're winding me up.
No, son. It's gospel.
What, is he a maniac?
Well, known for it. The way I read Dias, he'll cough to dishonest handling without much sweat.
So we take him as far as he'll go along that road, then hit him with the aggravated burglary.
When he thinks he's among friends.
What do you think's the meal you had then, Tony?
OK. Fine. Great.
You don't have to say that. They can set up some right atrocities in police canteens. I just wondered, because I'm new here myself, you see.
Oh, yeah?
Started today. I just hope I won't get lost. That'd be a bit embarrassing, wouldn't it? These two will play fair with you, Tony. They'll see you all right.
Tony. Come in, Tony. Sit down. with it.
Noticed the person whose interview has been tape recorded.
What's your skip? Tony, is Stringer about?
I haven't seen him. He's due for a breakdown.
If you do come across him, tell him I wouldn't mind a word with him. A bit urgently.
Yeah. You want it put through the camera?
Oh, no, thanks, mate. It's not that sort of thing.
If however you wish to remain unrepresented, with on application of the police prosecution that would be given access to a copy of the tape.
Look, Tony, you have told us a whole string of different stories about how the bits of property got into your house. So let's just level with each other about one thing, shall we? You knew that the stuff was stolen, right? Out loud, please, for the tape.
Yes.
Thank you, Tony. You've helped us out with that. Now let's talk about the various items, shall we? The silver cutlery, for instance. How long has that been in your cellar?
A week or two.
So who put it there?
Can't help you.
You must know.
No.
Do you read the local paper, Tony? Do you remember that?
What about it?
A couple in their 70s, tied up, beaten, their home ripped apart. Aggravated burglary, Tony. It's a serious offence. And you're involved.
No.
Their property was found in your cellar. Now, are you going to start explaining that in terms that make sense?
Look, you're her best mate there, Penny. Have a word with her before she burns any bridges. I mean, I know Dennis has his faults, but you don't flush away 10 years without thinking about it calmly. Look, Penny, something's come up. Look, get back to me as soon as you've spoken to Irene, OK?
Nothing to say. No comment. I want a barrister.
A barrister? You were already asked if you wanted a solicitor, and you said no, Tony.
Well, I want one now. I can have one any time, it says in the book. Section C, Section 6, subsection...
All right.
One.
Hello, Skip. Hello, Barry. Have you seen Mr. Munro since you come in?
No. Why did he want me?
Well, it's possible. You never know. Have you written up your notes yet?
Afraid not. I was just doing it now. Sorry about that.
All I wanted to say was, don't forget about Swales shouting abuse at passers-by and waving his arms about in the middle of the road.
When I nicked him, he was spewing up down some poor sod's basement steps.
Yeah, but prior to that, he'd be behaving in a manner I just described.
How'd you know?
Because that's what's on the custody record, Barry. We omitted to put down the evidence of arrest, and I had to put it down later to cover our backs.
Oh.
Mr. Swales will be having his arse kicked out of here when he sobers up. No further action. He won't care if we say he was hanging from a lamppost by his ankles dressed up as Batman. All that matters is, we're both singing from the same page of the hymn book.
Mr. Dias wants a barrister. Solicitor.
That right, Tony?
Yeah. I'll leave him with you then, shall I?
Right. Sit down, Tony. Now then, do you have a solicitor you want contacted, or shall I try and find one for you?
You get us one. I don't know no solicitors.
OK, I'll do my best, Tony, but bear in mind, we are out of normal working hours, so you might have a bit of a weight on your hands.
Blimey.
If you kept hanging about, I'll rush you up a cup of tea.
Cheers.
For Sergeant Boyden? Right, who shall I say's calling? Penny? Penny from Romford? Right. It was Irene before. What'd you have to do to get sent to Romford?
Guilty. I'll pay the fine now.
What are you talking about?
Guilty. Soliciting.
You were arrested for assault. What have you been taking?
I can't remember. Must have been good, though.
I want a medical on this one. Sit over there, I'll get it organised.
Yes, Sarge, come on.
Penny, what's the score? She's going to your place. Brilliant. Penny, you are an angel. Listen, look, we must get together. I'll buy you lunch sometime. Thursday? Well, I don't think I'm doing anything. Yeah, why not? Got your cup of tea, Tony?
Ta.
Bearing up?
I've been here bloody ages.
You've been in custody. Getting on for 3 hours now. I managed to get a brief lined up for you, by the way.
Great. It's a game, isn't it?
You said it. See, from my point of view, you're just bunging up a cell I could use for a body that needs locking away.
Them other two, CID.
Yeah?
They're talking about something I had nothing to do with. This aggravated burglary. I got the gear all right. Doesn't mean I knew what went on, you know, where it came from. All I know is who I got the silver off.
Well, if that's all you know, that's all you can say, mate.
Yeah, but if I tell them, it's all taped. Like they say, it can be used in evidence. I've got a life to live, you know.
What you say to me here is not evidence, Tony. Could be useful, though.
I could get bail.
Good chance. No promises.
2 guys come with the silver. Rossetti and Morris. They live up in Milton Keynes, come down here to do a bit of work and then piss off back up there again.
Romford must be the world's biggest kept secret. Hurry up, Reg.
Sarge?
Yeah.
Just got a call from Buckingham. They're giving Rossetti and Morris a spin and got some more gear from that burglary. We can pick up the bodies in the morning.
Magic.
Coming for a jar, Dave?
Oh, yes, please.
You coming, Skip?
Well...
No, we're going for Chinese. You wanted to give the Wu Ping a try.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Matt, thanks for that bit of work. I owe you one.
Touch? Hiya. Where's Ron?
He's gone off for a wander. Anything I can do?
No, it's local knowledge I'm after.
Well, you spend enough time in there, you must know how to use his index system.
Ron's best information is up here. And the only thing I know how to use is his toaster. Hiya. You all right?
Bob, how do you feel about being custody sarge for half an hour?
You know what the clutch said to the gearbox, sir? Sorry? Do you know what the clutch said to the gearbox? No. Another grind like that and we'll have to get engaged. Lovely motor, sir. Had it long?
I've had it for a while. Just got a bit of a problem with the clutch.
Yeah, probably needs an adjustment. You switch the engine off and open the bonnet, I'll take a look, sir. You'll need to pull the bonnet release handle, sir.
Oh, yeah.
The great thing about these cars is they never go wrong. I shouldn't think you normally have to open the bonnet.
No.
Morning, Sarge.
Don't ask me about overtime, Quinlan.
What was I going to?
That makes a change. What are these doing here?
That's the way Sergeant Maitland wanted them.
Yeah?
I was looking at your tax disc, sir.
Looks up to date.
I was interested where the disc was bought.
I can't remember.
It was only bought a couple of weeks ago, sir.
Stratford. Main post office.
Well, you obviously don't need glasses, sir. Got the keys to the car, please.
Why?
start the engine. Can I have a look at your driving licence as well, please?
Why?
Nothing wrong with the clutch, sir. Must be your driving.
Bobby? Bobby! Bobby! Bobby!
What's all that?
Bail forms.
There's enough for a riot there.
Yeah, well, that's what Uncle Bob's hoping for. He's filling in as custody sergeant, and so far we haven't had a customer.
Ah, never mind. Still, it'll make a nice change for him. Better than playing office politics upstairs.
Oh, yeah, except now he's playing them downstairs instead. Hello, Son Hill.
Hello, Dave. It's Ron.
Ron who?
Ron Smollett. I've arrested a man. I'm in the telephone box on Acre Street.
Well, it may have been a while since you did this, Ron, but nowadays we use a thing called a radio to call for assistance.
Caught her playing Crocodile Dundee down the high street.
I was going to sell it.
She had it hidden in her trousers.
Tell me how else I was meant to carry it.
Where were you going to sell it?
I don't know. Junk shop. Anywhere I could get 25 quid for it.
And where'd you get it from?
It was me granddad's. He told us he took it off a German in the First World War.
Brave man. What did you want the money for?
That's my business.
No. Unless you can prove you had a good reason for carrying this article in a public place, I am going to charge you.
I told you I was going to sell it.
Well, you're going to have to prove where.
I don't know.
Well, you just picked up a bayonet and you didn't know where you were going?
No. I took it out to sell it, and then I was going to buy some acid, yeah?
That should please your granddad.
PSC Smollett requires assistance. Acre Street. Convey prisoner to station.
Yeah, message received. We're not that short on the relief, are we? Why? We can't be too good if we need old Robo Ron back on the beat.
Well, what am I meant to charge you with?
Offensive weapon. I'll do the details when I've had my break if you want.
Well, no, you can't. You're an arresting officer. You can't act as custody officer in relation to your own prisoner, can you?
Just thought you might like a hand, that's all.
No, I'm just making sure we know what we're talking about. Prevention of crime, 53, yeah?
What's going on then, Ron?
Suspicion of taking a vehicle without authority. Now, I'll tell you what made me suspicious.
Yeah, it's all right, we'll sort it. Sierra Oscar from 218, receiving, over.
Go ahead, 218.
Yeah, can you give me a PNC check, index Juliet Charlie 59er, over?
Do you want us to take this up for me?
No, fine, cheers. What's your name, mate?
James Childs.
Address?
Number 1 Cranes Road.
Yeah, suspect's name
Lived there long, sir?
James
He's
Childs.
got no ID.
Address number 1 Cranes Road, over.
Just jack the car up, all right?
What is it? Part-timer, a special or something?
There's no need for insults, sir.
What's with the big hat then, eh?
I thought I'd keep the sun off my head.
Yeah, but pulling in punters for motoring offences, not usually the collator's job, is it, eh?
I'm still a copper, aren't I?
The registered keeper of the vehicle is confirmed as James Childs, and there is no trace of the vehicle having been lost or stolen.
Cheers, message received. Pop him back in the water, shall we?
Hang on. The bloke's got no ID. The keeper's name he could have got off something he found in the car.
Well, there's no report of it being Nick, Ron.
Yeah, well, I'm suspicious. I'm sorry, sir. I'm going to ask you to accompany me down to the station.
How many times do I have to tell you? This is my car.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
You just drop him down to the station. I'll follow you down in the Saab. Trust me, Tony, I had 20 years in traffic.
Sir, I've got a problem on pace. I've made an arrest while being custody officer. Bob Pryor has taken over my duties.
Oh, that's fine.
She's been arrested, but at what point can I resume my duties in relation to the girl?
What a poser.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but we need an answer.
That's not what I was referring to.
You can't help it, but it makes you feel like a superstar in one of these.
It's a shame we can't make you look like one.
My word. Sergeant Maitland's aged.
Yeah, arresting officer.
Better put down Ron Smollett.
Don't muck around.
No, we're serious.
Right. How are we doing? What are you doing here?
Better ask you the same question.
We found your lad a brief, Ron.
That was quick.
Oh, yeah, he's a bit of a lefty, but he was here in the station already.
I was a damn good copper on the beat.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you were, Ron. But I'm probably too young to remember.
You know, I look at lads like you, Dave, and I wonder if you're too young to be doing the job at all.
It's sorted. I've just spoken to Mr. Munro. And what does he say? He says it's all right to resume duties. Section 36, subsection 6.
Yeah, but that doesn't seem to be in the spirit of the law, does it? I mean, you can't have the arresting officer and the custody officer being one and the same person.
It's all above board, Bob.
Well, I find it hard to believe.
I mean, if that's true, it seems to me to conflict with everything that the custody officer stands for. I mean, you are taught above all that a custody officer should be impartial.
Look, you can check it if you want.
Could you tell us the vehicle's registration number?
My initials, JC59.
The make, the model, the year of manufacture.
This is stupid.
I feel my client has been stopped and victimised merely because of his age.
He's under suspicion of taking a vehicle without authority.
Look, I work for a record company. Do you think I'm going to go around skanking cars?
What about your driving licence?
I told you, I haven't got it on me.
We've got no record of you having a driving licence.
If that's the only problem, I'm sure my client will be prepared to produce the driving licence at a police station within the next 7 days.
Yeah, sure.
The problem, sir, is I'm not convinced your client is who he says he is.
Look! Sit down.
Look, it's no big deal. I can drive. I just haven't passed my test, that's all.
Providing John is no longer involved in the investigation of the offence, he can still be custody officer. But he is still involved.
But subsection 6 contradicts that.
It's better to be safe than sorry, and I don't mind standing in as custody sergeant for the rest of the shift.
This only affects his role as regards the prisoner he arrested.
He got 2 prisoners.
I don't know who wrote this.
The Marx Brothers. Look, I agree with you. You could argue it either way.
Oh, here's a coin. Let's toss for it.
Heads.
I'll deal with the paperwork.
Yeah, Ron's behaving like he's just arrested Lord Luton.
Sarge?
Yeah?
Could you delay things a bit?
Yeah, sure. Why?
Just give us a few moments, eh?
What's going on?
You can give mine a valet while you're at it.
I'll consider it, sir. But I think yours is a complete restoration job.
Watch it.
There you go.
Where's that other bloke then? One with the nose?
He's gone.
Look, I was going to make this guy jolly. He knows I was going to sell that bayonet. Ask him.
You a pusher, is he, Bobby?
He's a friend.
I don't think he's likely to talk to us, is he?
But I was going to sell it.
And where would we find this bloke, Johnny?
Where's the Sarge?
Cells.
Sarge?
Yeah, look, Ron, this lad of yours, I'm going to need some reason if we're going to delay any longer.
I found this in the car.
What is it?
Credit card counterfoil. Now, check the signature against the one on the custody record.
Yeah, this one looks left-handed.
Definitely cheesy.
Right. Dave, you put the lad in the interview room. For Ron, will you? And inform the solicitor.
Cheers, Sarge.
Tosh!
Yeah?
I think I might have something for you.
Oh, yeah?
I've got to speak to Mr. Munro first.
Well, what is it?
Look, this can't go any further as yet.
Yeah?
Have you ever heard of a dealer called Jolly?
I'm going to ask you to give us a specimen of those signatures.
You're wasting my time.
Look, lad, it's our time that's being wasted.
You can't get over the fact that I'm young and I've got a fast car. That I earn more money than you. You're jealous.
Sit down. Now, shall we have someone go round to the address you gave us?
There won't be anyone in. I'm here.
This is Smollett, Sun Hill. I'm looking for a Mr. James Childs.
He's not here.
Does he live here?
Yes, but I can't help you, I'm afraid. I'm just on my way out.
Do you know him well?
I know him.
Right, well, let me explain. We've arrested a man on suspicion of stealing Mr. Childs' car.
I'm late. I'm afraid I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, well, in fact, the man claims to be Mr. Childs.
So we need someone to confirm his identity.
I'm too busy.
You don't seem very concerned, madam.
Look, what James does is his own business. It's got nothing to do with me.
We don't believe this man is James.
Well, fine.
Could you give me your name, please, madam?
No. And I don't want to say anything else, thank you.
Well, could you at least give us a description?
Look, James is my fiancé, so I can't say anything against him. But I'm not going to do anything to help him. Do you understand?
No.
John. Yeah? This girl you arrested, I've just heard that she gave you some information about a dealer. Yeah, she mentioned a dealer called Jolly. And did that have any bearing on the investigations into her alleged offence? Look, I know what you're going to say. Yeah, but was she under caution when she made the admissions? Look, it didn't happen like that. It was just a casual remark she made in the cells. I just thought they might be interested at CID. You agreed to be her custody officer. She just blurted out a few things. I don't even know if they're relevant to the case. You should have given her a caution and taken a statement.
What's all this then, eh? Cairo Bazaar?
It's only temporary, my friend.
Ah, it looks lovely. All the fruits look wonderful. You know, in the old days, we used to call all this tropical stuff queer gear. That's right. Maybe we could just move it back up the pavement a smidge. We don't want anyone breaking their leg or the van back on the road, eh?
You're not the usual copper, are you?
No, Ron Smollett.
Sam.
Sam, right. Oh, Sam, you don't happen to know the guy with the red Saab lives across the road, do you?
James.
You know him?
Yeah, I know everybody here. He gives me some financial advice.
She claims that the money she would obtain from the sale of the bayonet would be used to buy a controlled substance.
Now, let's put aside the evidence relating to what she was going to do with the money.
No, sir, we can't. The dealer might be able to corroborate her story.
I don't care whether the guy could back her up or not. Carrying a bayonet around the streets of London on the off chance that she might be able to sell it in order to purchase drugs, I mean, that's in no way a reasonable excuse for carrying an offensive weapon.
But that's the law. It is accepted that to carry a sword to sell is a justified excuse for the offence of carrying an offensive weapon.
But we have no proof that she intended to sell it.
But that's why it has to be investigated.
Oh, and the dealer's going to back her up.
It has to be investigated. And it doesn't help with you shelling out information to the CID.
Bob.
No, but it's true, sir. We don't know where this case is going to lead. And as custody officer, any disclosures she's made to you might be inadmissible as evidence.
OK. John, I want you to make a statement. I'll get CID to take a statement from the girl. And Bob, I'd like you to take over as custody sarge in relation to the girl.
Sir. Look, I only mentioned the matter to DC Lines in passing.
Just make a statement.
Yes, sir.
And like, it was like things like CMD play.
Excuse me, can I help you?
Mr. James Charles, please.
Oh, I'm afraid he's not in.
Do you know when he'll be back?
Well, he's actually out on business at the moment. Can I help?
I'm investigating the possible theft of his motor vehicle.
His car? When?
Do you know, did he come by car this morning?
Well, yes.
How did he leave?
He goes everywhere by car.
What does he look like?
He's early 30s, medium height. When did you say this happened?
He's not informed as yet that it has.
No hard feelings, eh?
We're both doing our job.
Yeah, that's right. Have you got the keys to Bobby's cell?
Yeah. There you go.
Cheers. Haven't got another arrest, have you?
I'm still trying to shape up the last one.
Ron, you've got a customer.
Where?
Front office.
He's very busy for a collider.
I'm sorry, I didn't get the chance to get your name.
Julie Kerrigan. I spoke to James. I'm sorry I wasn't helpful earlier. We had a bit of a tiff, you see.
Oh, I see. Please.
Thank you. He phoned to apologise when I got into work, and when I told him about the car and what had happened, he couldn't believe it.
I bet.
So he asked me to come and tell you.
Right. So where's Mr. Childs now?
Well, he's at work. He couldn't come himself.
And is that where the car was stolen from?
Oh, I couldn't say, actually.
I'll get the details from Mr. Childs.
Unfortunately, he's terribly busy.
Well, we'll have to take a statement from him at some point.
Well, the thing is also, he needs his car for work.
Yeah, but if he comes down and makes a statement, he can pick it up whenever he likes.
Well, he asked me to pick it up for him. He needs it now. That's why I've come down.
Right. Well, I've got his card. I'll give him a ring and explain.
Excuse me, I'm just going to get something out of the car, okay?
Very well, madam.
What was that about?
That was about a lot of hard work.
Why? What's happened?
Oh, hello. Yes, could you put me through to Mr. James Childs, please? PC Smollett, Sunhill.
I thought we'd got him.
I'm not sure what we've got. Hello, Mr. Childs.
Right, thanks.
So am I going to get my bayonet back?
I can't say at the moment.
Look, I wasn't going to stab anyone.
Hey, come here. It was your granddad's, was it?
Yeah.
What do you reckon he would say about all this?
He's dead, isn't he? I just need to sell it.
Your granddad picked that up fighting in the war. It's a piece of personal history that he passed on to you.
You like souvenirs? You buy it.
So that you can buy drugs?
If I want to kill myself, that's my business. And so is what I do with my money, right? Where I live, you either make out or you get out. And today it's my turn to make out. I suppose you wouldn't know much about that.
Oh, I don't know, love.
What's your real name?
Jeff Keane. Can I have a fag?
Not till we've finished. Where do you live?
31 Start Road, SE1. Geezer can have his jacket back as well. Sleeves are too short.
Is that all you took?
Well, I had his wallet, but I appear to have lost that.
Who to? His name.
Well, I got some useful information about this Jolly character from her. And in all honesty, I think she was going to sell it.
You believe that?
Yeah, I know it doesn't seem right, but as a defence against possessing an offensive weapon, yeah, it stands.
She'd never be able to prove it, though.
That's not down to me. That's down to you or the CPS. All right?
All right. Let's release her with a caution.
We might have got a pusher out of it. That can't be bad.
Yeah, you're right.
And by the by, thanks very much for asking me to stand in for you. I've really enjoyed this morning.
Thank you for coming down, sir.
Thank you for retrieving my car.
It's a pleasure. Now, if I could just have a few details. What time is the car stolen?
When Julie told me, it was the first I knew of it.
And it was taken from where?
From work. I stupidly left my keys in the car.
And your jacket containing your wallet?
That's right.
Well, we've retrieved your jacket, but not your wallet. You'll need to inform your bank.
Sure. Because actually, I do have a pressing appointment.
However, sir, we do need to see your driving licence and vehicle registration document.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, dear me, sir. There was me thinking there was going to be a bribe in here. We had wondered if, in fact, you had a licence.
It's a previous address. I seem to have been too busy to renew it. But I'm sorry. I really will get on with it.
Well, if you could, sir. It would be a help. It is an offence, you know. And I need to get you to fill out a loser's statement for the car. Get us a measure for us. Cheers.
I am busy. Is it urgent?
When you can. He says it's an old address.
I'll be giving the girl a caution. Now I'm going to sort out some more overtime.
Oh, I am enjoying this. A bloke doesn't want to report the loss of a 25 grand car and his girlfriend doesn't want to help him. Now, do you understand that?
No? What's it mean?
It means, Tosh, that I've probably uncovered the biggest car racket in the history of the Met.
Well, here are your keys, Mr. Childs. Don't lose them.
No. Cheers.
I'll see you later. Bye.
Why don't you drive? I've had a hell of a day.
Oh, but I've got my own car, remember, James? Parked out the front.
You ought to go out more often.
Yeah. Yeah, any chance of you having a word with Mr. Brownlow? Recommended me for home beat officer.
You serious?
You've got the taste.
I have. I want to get my teeth into something again. I mean, I just sit in that office. I haven't even got a window to look out of.
One Bombay duck.
What?
James Charles, Monauburn Magistrates, October 1990. 2 years disqualification, drunk in charge of a motor vehicle, fined £400. So how come he's still got a licence?
You must know that one.
No.
It's a duplicate. He'll have applied for it on the off chance that he'd lose it one day.
Thanks for everything.
Seatbelt, sir!
Where is he?
It's just gone.
All cars to be on the lookout for a red Saab convertible. Registration number Juliet Charlie 59.